plumbing stay cooler with Fuel.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Focused, fueled, fearless, Farah. Now, Lauren Brooks, Taylor Dahl, and Tom McManus. This is
Helmets and Heels.
Helmets and Heels on 1010XL.
It is a new week, and for us, it is Vegas week.
It is right around. I mean, we have a couple days, and we're going to be on our way out there. I did want to remind people still time to RSVP for that Heels Huddle Up. We will be having Friday night out there at the Circuit Resort and Casino Overhang Bar. If you go to 1010xl.com/Vegas, you'll find it on there. If you go to the Circuit Resort and Casino page, they also have the links to the Jacksonville Jaguars Huddle Up too. But you also get discounted rooms. So if you're still debating if you want to go, it's a good deal. So still time to do that. Yeah.
Listen, you're going to Vegas, and then you get to watch your Jags play.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's a pretty darn good trip. No matter how it turns out. And I'm not talking about you at the gambling tables out there. I mean, as the Jags are concerned, but yeah, it's always a good time. I can't believe we're going back. It feels like we were just there not too long ago.
It was prior to football season, and certainly now, 7 games in for the Jags, 8 games in for other teams in the NFL, and it is here. Welcome back. Did you do some self-scouting during the bye week?
I did. I actually did a little homework on our Jaguars, just looking at different things, seeing where we ranked, amongst the league, in different position groups and different things. Yeah, some good, some not good, and then just really looking at how they're going to turn it around. I mean, look, they're 4-3, so it's good. All the forget about getting your butt kicked 2 weeks in a row, because you did. You had a week to heal up those wounds, and now you got to, really be focused to take care of these next games coming up. The next 5-6 games, Chargers are going to be tough. Zona, we don't really know about it, but the other 3, look, we could beat those teams. It can beat almost any team, but you know what I'm saying. Like we should beat the Raiders. We should beat the Texans. Texas beat the Niners yesterday, though, so who knows? Maybe they got a spark going.
Yeah, their offense looks to be
more
back
efficient.
on track.
Yeah. So we'll
now this offense.
But you got to beat the Raiders. You know what I mean? Like you got it's not, I don't know if you want to say must win, but it's like, come on, man. You should have beat one of those teams you just played to. Out of Seattle or the Rams. Should have beat one, in my opinion. You didn't. But now you got to beat the Raiders. You got to go out there and beat the Raiders. So I'm looking forward to getting out there and being in part of all that madness and fun. And you guys are dressing up for Halloween. I normally don't, but I don't know. Maybe I'll find some kind of wig out there I'll throw on. It's going to be a great time. So if you are thinking about it, you should come. We're going to have a good time. We're a lot of fun, so you can always come party with us, whatever we do, and have a good time at the at Circa, because it's quite the place.
Yeah. And I did want to also say, because I know a lot of people, I mentioned this last week, a lot of people are like, well, it's Florida-Georgia weekend, and they want to go to the Florida-Georgia game. There is a 5 a.m. flight. Many people on the text line have said on Sunday morning that obviously, I guess it's like 5 hours, so 10 a.m. here, 7 a.m. there. You're getting there very early, but you'd be there in enough time to land, check into a hotel, and tailgate. So still plenty of time if you want to catch that early one Sunday if you do go to Florida-Georgia.
There's a year to miss Florida-Georgia. This is the year, right?
A lot of people have never missed, and so
I know.
other than maybe 2020, the COVID year, there were fewer seats, obviously. But overall, and if you do want to come out early to hang out with us, then obviously you can watch Florida-Georgia. They're in the sports book.
Sports book screens.
Absolutely, it's Circa. All right, so over the weekend, Diana Rossini, she had 2 different reports, one Jaguars related, one college football related. We'll get to that one in a little bit. That I feel like sent shockwaves through, certainly the one about the Jaguars sent shockwaves through the Jags fan base, and that was that the Jaguars are listening on calls for wide receiver Brian Thomas Jr. Even if a move feels unlikely, she said they're also shopping for defense. So let's first hear from Liam Cohen and then discuss. But here's Liam earlier today and talking about his wide receiver number 1.
Yeah, I am very optimistic. We have no plans on moving Brian Thomas Jr. At all. Saw something about that over the weekend. I talked to him for a good amount of time this morning, and it's just a good reset for a lot of these guys to come in fresh, 4-3 with everything ahead of us. Regardless, good, bad, or indifferent, what's happened in the first 7 games, we all have an opportunity to write a narrative. We own the narrative, and so I got a lot of confidence in him. I really do believe that we can turn the corner and get better in the pass game that way.
I think a lot was made over the last 7 games about Brian Thomas Jr., and rightfully so. Last year, he was one of the best rookies we've ever seen, not just in Jacksonville, but across the league. And now he's struggled to catch the football. And he certainly has struggled to have chemistry with Trevor Lawrence. I don't know that 1 week off and then coming back together with the bye week can necessarily fix everything that's gone wrong for this team and specifically for Brian Thomas Jr. But if the head coach is going to stand up there, scoff at a report like that, and then tell you how much confidence he has when this is the same coach who has been honest and candid about other players to this point, that at least tells me that he feels like they're going to be able to certainly have Brian Thomas Jr. back on the right track. And that he is the wide receiver 1 for this football team.
Yeah, and maybe we'll see some of those bread and butter plays we've been talking about, that Trevor and Brian Thomas have hooked up on. They're really good on that out pattern. They're good on the quick slant, sometimes a dig over the middle as long as there's not backside, coverage and whatnot. So, you're not giving up on Brian Thomas. I know it's amazing how a little fire starts this inferno of, oh my gosh, we're moving Brian Thomas and people losing their minds. Half the people going, hell yeah, we should move him. The other people go, no way, we should move him. And at the end of the day, he's too young to give up on now. Are you crazy?
Totally agree.
You wouldn't do that. So you got to keep feeding him, keep trying to get him opportunities and just put him in good positions to make plays. Look, they're grown, they're human beings. Like, confidence is a thing. Maybe he lost a little bit of confidence in his play, but he's got to get it back. I will say one thing is, and I know Jimmy Smith's been on fire on Twitter, our great teammate and my good friend. He's got to get off Brian Thomas Jr. Let's see some urgency in getting into your route. Enough of this slow-paced, slow, tight. It feels too slow. You know what I mean? Like, let's get going. Come on. Like, this is a timing thing, too. It's interesting, though, girls. Like, we've seen this mistiming throughout camp. Remember, during camp, we'd be like, man, he's dropping, or the ball's way off, or it's in a good spot. Or
he was frustrated.
He was frustrated. It was just wild. Like, man, it's not clicking at all with Brian Thomas during training camp. And it's amazing how it's kind of carried into the regular season.
Yeah, honestly, in my opinion, I feel like it would be a little silly if you don't answer the phone and listen to what people say. You can hang up very quickly. You can say no thank you. But I don't know personally if there's many names on this roster that are irreplaceable at this point. And I think that we've seen where James Gladstone comes from, they're not scared to be aggressive if you feel like you can upgrade a position. And from things I was hearing last week, they are frustrated with Brian Thomas in that building, and they feel like it's kind of altering the way they've had to use the Travis Hunter plan. And so now you just used a lot of draft capital on a guy and moved up for a Travis Hunter, and now you can't really stick to the plan that you had preseason because your wide receiver 1 isn't playing like a wide receiver 1. So I don't know if anybody was calling or whatever, but I think you pick up the phone, you listen to what people would possibly give you, or what that conversation looks like. And same for maybe several other players on this roster. Honestly, you listen to it, and if James Gladstone's taught us anything, he doesn't love this roster, and we saw that early on in the season, and he's not scared to make big splash changes. But it could have been a quick no thank you and hang up, and it could have not been any phone calls. But I think it would be silly not to listen.
Yeah, listening just means like you're saying.
Yeah.
Right? And
you can have a conversation about
but
it.
here's the other side of it, like you just said. Like, Brian Thomas isn't their pick.
Yeah.
They inherited him.
And last year, he had issues with Trevor last year, too. And then you have issues in camp with Trevor. And then you have issues now with Trevor. And it's like, he's young, and you never want to give up on a player that soon. But I think you listen to phone calls to see what people think Brian Thomas's value is.
It would have to be really rich, for me.
To me, it would have to be like a first. You would have to get a first.
Yeah. I mean, I'm like, that's what I'm saying. Like, because he'd go somewhere. He'd be some rock star of a wide receiver in somebody's system. They'd put him in the right, place, and he'd reignite or whatnot. We've seen that before. We don't want it. It's too early to give up on him, in my opinion. So keep giving him the rock. Still try to work that plan.
Yeah.
It's only 7 games in, but after a while, you do have to figure it out, because we just went through it. It's been happening since, what is it, July? End of July, beginning of August.
Yeah.
And we've seen it through now. So maybe it changes. Maybe it just keeps getting better. It felt like it was getting a little bit better last game or so, but it's got to get even better. So.
Well, we said he was a gamer, and he'll play better once the games matter, because we did see
We gave him the benefit of the doubt.
inconsistencies from him in the prior training camp, and then the moment that the Jags had a preseason game, we saw an electric Brian Thomas Jr. make that catch against the Chiefs, and we all thought, okay, he
Here
turns
it
it on
is.
right when it matters the most, and there's still 10 games left to play for him to get better, for Trevor Lawrence to get better, for the entire passing offense to get better. All right, so we've got more to do on the other side, including Tom's takeaways. Tom is back from vacay. Welcome back, by the way, officially. officially.
Good to be back. Thank you.
Absolutely. It's a Big Chief Tire Monday. You can find them online at WeKeepJacksRollin.com. They have thousands of 5-star reviews. They do such a great job. You will love working with the Parman family for all of your vehicles. It's 1010XL 92.5 FM.
A high-performance machine raises eyebrows and holds your attention.
And play big-time football on a big-time stage.
And so it is with the Performance Painting High-Performance Play of the Game.
Somebody got to make a play.
On 1010XL.
Helmets and heels.
Backed by Green Law Group on 1010XL.
Jacksonville, Hickens calling it. Checkmate Coating, my MVP. Tough, slick floors that dominate any space.
Checkmate Coatings, your floor's missing piece.
It's a Big Chief Tire Monday on Helmets and Heels.
This is Mark Nato. My sons and I have seen the doctors and PAs at Southeast Ortho for everything from lumbar spine stress to elbow tendonitis. Southeast has always been there, been truthful, and always been on point. Everything they say happens. We can't thank them enough for what they've done and the great care that they have taken of our sons.
Relieve pain and get back to life. Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
Tired of roofers who never answer the phone and just use AI?
I'm Morgan Conley, the People's Roofer. I answer every call. No robots, no runaround. I'm born here, built here, staying here. Visit MorganConleyRoofing.org.
Hey, Jaguars fans, Tom McMahon here. Crown Royal is a proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars. This season, it's not game day without the generous spirit of Crown Royal. Whether you're at the tailgate, in the stands, or watching from home, Crown Royal is the reason and the reward for coming together. Grab a glass with the Crown Royal rig at a stadium near you because we'll be sharing that generous spirit with fans across the country. Crown Royal, fueling game day with the generous spirit. Visit crownroyal.com/Royal Rig for more on the Crown Royal Rig Tour. Please drink responsibly.
It's Gators and Dogs. Dogs and Gators. Florida and Georgia.
For the party of the year.
Florida-Georgia Week is celebrated by 904 Gutters with a Z and Ackerman Urology and Cancer Center on 1010XL.
Our slogan, Know Before You Blow, applies to more than just DUI cases. Hi, I'm attorney Lee Lockett of Lockett Law. Battery charges can result in jail time and criminal convictions too, so know before you blow a gasket and hit a loved one or a stranger. Drug crimes like possession of marijuana and cocaine will land you in cuffs too, so know before you blow. In a boating under the influence case, you also have the option to blow or not to blow. So know your options. Know before you blow. Go to knowbeforeyouBlow.com now. Offices Jacksonville.
You waited forever for your new fence. Then strangers show up. Subcontractors rushing the job. Sent by the company you trusted. Frustrating, right? Superior Fence and Rail promises better. Their professionally trained builders deliver quality you can trust. No subcontractors, no shortcuts. Just the superior craftsmanship your home deserves.
When you're on the fence, about a fence, SuperiorFenceandRail.com.
One thing that separates Beard's Diamonds from those other jewelry stores at the town center, no one's paid on commission.
Nobody at Beard's is on commission. That's more of your corporate stores that pay commission.
Beard's owner, John Lupo, says that means no pressure, no hidden agenda, no extra markups.
And you're getting a better deal. You're not paying the corporate commission. You're not paying the salesperson's commission. If they're paying their salespeople commission, you're starting off in a hole.
And that's why you feel like a number at most jewelry stores, because it's all about making the sale, but not at Beard's.
Because it's a corporate atmosphere and they want to sell you what they want to sell you. We're here to sell you what you want. Our salespeople can do whatever they want to make sure that the customer is happy.
So relax. At Beard's Diamonds, they have all the things you want, like quality education, selection, warranties, and none of the stuff you don't want, like pressure and tacked on commissions.
Nobody's making an extra 5 or 10% on Beard's customers.
Beard's Diamonds, the town center's only locally owned jeweler.
We sell better merchandise, better product for less money, guaranteed.
Cool air and clean air. Getting out from under that Florida sun and cooling off inside is where Florida Home AC shines. Think about it. You spend a lot of time indoors, and air quality is crucial to your health and comfort. Pollutants like dust, pollen, germs, and allergens can build up, affecting your well-being. Florida Home is dedicated to enhancing your indoor experience with superior air quality solutions like whole home air purification systems. Find out by logging on to FloridaHomeAC.com or call 877-4300.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Still, present, ready. Farah doesn't flinch.
Taylor Dahl, Tom McManus, RJ Saunders. I'm Lauren Brooks with you on this Big Chief Tire Monday. Since Tom is back, I'm sure he has even more to take away.
Now,
Okay, it's go time.
Tommy's Takeaways. Jacked up by J-Dog Junk Removal and Hauling. Call 506-1256 for your free estimate today. We are here for you. Veteran owned and operated.
All right, my takeaway today, and it's great to be back, is look, you're at a really critical point of your season, you Jacksonville Jaguars. You at 4-3 coming off your bye week, going to the Raiders, who, look, anything can happen on any given Sunday. No doubt about it. They got plenty of talent to beat you, but you got to go out there. You got to win this ball game, and I don't care what it takes. I don't care if it takes extra studying, extra conditioning, extra weightlifting. It doesn't matter. You got to do everything in your power to make sure that you turn this thing around, because if you don't go out there and beat the Raiders, I don't know what's going to happen to this season. Of course, you'll find a couple wins here and there, but if you go out there and beat the Raiders, I think you can get on a little bit of a run and really make some noise in the AFC. And that's my takeaway today, brought to you by my good friends at J-Dog Junk Removal and Hauling.
Speaking of the next game against the Raiders, so obviously we've well documented the Jaguars' just complete and total collapse against the Rams, right? They only scored one touchdown. It was late in the game. The Rams led 21-0 at the half. It felt like the Jaguars could do absolutely nothing. The Jaguars, however, did outgain the Los Angeles Rams 358 to 271 when it comes to total yards, and had more passing yards, 264 to 182. Granted, again, the touchdowns are what matters. Matthew Stafford threw 5 of those. Trevor Lawrence only 1. But to put that in perspective, here's what the Raiders did against the Chiefs. We know the score was 31-0 Kansas City. The Raiders had 95 total yards. The Chiefs had 434 total yards. The Chiefs had 30 first downs. The Raiders had 3 first downs. So just take a deep breath, put things in perspective. Yep. The team you're about to face had a worse outing than certainly you did, and they're 2-5, right? Like, yes, this is in their house at Allegiant Stadium, but after having gone there last year for the Jags-Raiders game, I will tell y'all, there's not a huge contingent of local Raiders fans.
Yeah.
It's not like the Jags even, right?
Yeah.
With 50,000 plus season ticket members. It's not like that for the Raiders.
Yeah. Well, they just got their team taken away from them not long ago, so that sucks for a lot of the
Oakland,
true Oakland Raider fans. But yeah, I mean, I think the Raiders are a bad football team, and that's why we keep saying this. Like, you've got to beat this team, because this team is not a good football team. They haven't been able to do a lot of things well. Geno Smith kind of came back to earth when it comes to his play. Ashton Genty had his game against the Bears where he went off. Outside of that, it's been all right. Brock Bowers has been banged up, so you haven't probably seen exactly what people thought coming into the season you'd see out of Brock. And then outside of Max Crosby, there's just there's some decent players, but not anybody that you're terrified of, like Seattle and LA. That's a whole different world when it comes to that. But when you look at standings right now, you at this point in time have that final wild card spot. You're that spot 7 in the AFC right now, and the Chiefs are right there. Honestly, if you beat the Chiefs, so you have that tiebreaker, but they have 4 wins, and now Houston's only a game back from you. So all of these wins matter at this point. You very quickly are out of the even wild card race if you lose a game like this.
Yeah, and it's just your confidence is
definitely.
If it wasn't already.
Yeah.
The Raiders, I think, caught the Chiefs at a really bad time, and the Chiefs, I feel like they're starting to get things together maybe a little bit, and they took care of a team that they should take care of. But here's the thing: Max Crosby can ruin a game.
He's insane.
He can, and if you don't block him up, he's gonna ruin the backfield of your team. You look at Genty. Look, he didn't do much other than what you just said, but if we don't stop the run, he can chalk up some yardage. There's no doubt about that. And Geno Smith has shown, you give him time, he's going to find the open guy. So we haven't – look, the first 4 games the last 2 games compared to the first 5, No pressure from our defense. No takeaways. It was just nothing. Like teams were, Seattle and LA were pretty much able to do whatever they wanted against our defense. That's got to be way better. Our offensive line, before the last 2 games, you were protecting great. You were top of the league. And then the last 2 weeks, I mean, the hits on the QB alone at 28, the sacks are at 14 those 2 games. I mean, it's been abysmal. So you got to get back to that, because if you don't block back, you saw it against the Bears, what he did in the first half.
Yeah, he's insane.
I mean, he's absolutely, he's a game wrecker, and they'll find a way to figure out how to beat you if you don't take care of those players. I'll tell you what, Lauren, I've been thinking a lot about what you said. I think it was on Tuesday. Where are the star players of this team? Where are they? Because those star players that I just mentioned, they're going to show up on Sunday for the Raiders. Which one of ours are going to show up? Because it's about time that they do. And I mean consistently. I don't care about pressures. I want to see sacks. I want to see a quarterback on the ground. You know what I mean? I don't want to hear about, we're killing ourselves pre-snap. I want to see you win the line of scrimmage. You know what I mean? Let's get back to what you looked like before the last 2 games that you didn't look very good at. Get back to some of that. But look, you're right. We should go beat them. There's no doubt about it. But this is one of those games that if you let them hang around, if you don't take care of their star players, they will find a way to beat you, because that's the National Football League.
Yeah, and Pete Carroll's a good coach.
He's a good coach.
The takeaways, obviously, now would be a fantastic time for those to show back up, because Geno Smith has thrown 10 interceptions through this point in the season. And so, yeah, they do have individually good players, but obviously collectively, the Raiders are not a great football team. And the Jaguars, at times this season, have been. And so, Tom, we talked a bunch last week about the videos that the Jags put out about from the Hunt Extras and Liam Cohen meeting with the team, obviously post the Rams loss, but then showing those different videos, highlighting how he had to hold himself accountable, in front of everyone. This was a bad play call and things like that. I do think showing the positive plays can help. Obviously, there's been a lot of negative in that locker room the last really 3 weeks since they had the week off now, 2 games in the bye week. Maybe that's what this team needed. Maybe they had enough tough love. Maybe they needed a little bit of the, wait, let me show you what you can be when you play at your best.
Well, I get that positive reinforcement. That's good. As long as you win, I don't care what your philosophy is. You know what I mean? You can be a hard ass, or you could be, whatever, just rah-rah, shish kumbah. I don't really care as long as you win. And that's what we're trying to figure out.
Everybody's hungry now.
But I do like that. But let's go back to and Liam says it to his team, these self-inflicted wounds. We're 7-8 weeks in now. Why are we still having them? So my common sense tells me we're not studying hard enough as players. Like, you shouldn't be making these mistakes. Your job is to not make the mistakes. It's not, new terminology. The only one I'll give new terminology to is a QB. That's the only guy that gets a pass on the turn. Everybody else, it's almost the same. You know what I mean? You're going to figure it out. But that's where they're lacking.
Yeah, I will be interested, Taylor, to see, and they've said that Trevor doesn't want to use the wristband, but I do wonder, does the wristband come out for the back half of this season and the 10 games remaining? Is it just more comfortable for him, or is he a little bit faster at getting the play call, not just understanding it, but then repeating it to the team? And again,
if you have it on you.
Yeah, I only bring that up because in watching the Bears-Ravens game yesterday, they showed Lamar Jackson on the sidelines, who obviously didn't play, and every time a play call was put in, he was looking at his wristband.
Yeah.
And so it just made me go back to the fact that that's one thing that Trevor has changed. And again, Liam Cohen, Trevor Lawrence, they're going to hopefully figure this out to what works for their offense and what works for them, specifically individually, their relationship and all that. But I just wonder, those are the types of things that I would have self-scouted during the bye. Obviously, reinforcing Trevor Lawrence's footwork and the route running for the receivers and obviously all that goes into it. But also, should we look back at what we've changed, and that is he is not using the wristband right now.
Yeah, because obviously that the plays getting in on time has been an issue, and whether it's you're getting called for it and it's penalties, if not, it's like 2 seconds left every time you feel like they're finally snapping the ball. I heard Denny Thompson earlier, obviously with XL Primetime, talking about, Joe asked him, with the pressures and how much he's been getting hit and sacked in this last couple games, how does that actually affect quarterbacks? And Denny Thompson went into a lot of different things that I honestly didn't think about it in the sense of, if you're banged up, a lot of times you have to overcompensate different ways. So you're not throwing the ball that you're actually supposed to be, or you're not getting your feet set and things like that because you're playing uncomfortable. And so that's part of it. And he wasn't saying that's what Trevor's dealing with. He was just saying in general, quarterbacks who are getting hit a lot, these are some of the things that he's he's noticed. But then he also went in just in general, when you're speeding up the process of everything, you're not having the time to really think about where your feet need to be and where your arm needs to be and all of the throwing motions and the cadence and everything. Those things start to go out the window when you're having to think faster. And so maybe the wristband helps, because if you have something like that, you're not having to overthink those things, and you can go back and think about your fundamentals and your mechanics.
I think it would help you learn the plays better, you know, because you do have to memorize all the words, you know, and
that's
you're
what they
calling
said, yeah.
you're calling 2 plays at once. I'd be interested to know how they self-scouted the audibles, you know, like out of all the times that Trevor's checked out of the play, was it the right call or not? You know, and what I want, like, is it mostly run? Is it pass? Is it a combination? But I think he audibles too much. I mean, sometimes it seems like he's audible every single time. I don't know why that is, but maybe they could figure that out and simplify it for them. I think with pre-snap for him, I don't have a problem with Trevor on the pre-snap. It's the other guys, and they keep, like, again, like, you can't keep doing that. Like the illegal motions, no more. Like, should be 0.
Yeah.
Maybe 1 on occasion. All right, I give you 1 on occasion, but 0 for the most part. You know, illegal motion, whatever that is, being down the field, which can be very tough at times for these linemen. You know, when the play gets extended, they don't know where the QB's at. I get that, but just plays like that, false starts. Come on. Like, trust your feet, trust your reactionary time, trust all the work that you've put in, you know, for that. Like, you're looking at Max Crosby, you studied him so hard that you're just gonna have to wait on him. You're gonna have to be patient with him. If you attack too much, he's gonna make you look silly. You know, so you should go in there thinking, like, you talked about under duress, you forget about your mechanics. His mechanics should be so secondhand nature, he shouldn't think about it. But he does go to those.
He does.
He throws flat-footed. He throws just with his arm. He doesn't feel like he can step into it. He doesn't slide enough to find those openings, you know, in the protection and that type of thing. And look, it's frustrating for him because he doesn't have the time to really do what he needs to do. But that's the job. So he's got to figure out a way how to do it. And if that's to escape and take off, which I know it's being even more encouraged for Trevor, and he should run more when he's in danger like that, maybe that can help out. But, you know, those kind of things, you know, that's got to get better.
You used a word earlier, Tom, an urgency, and that's where this team, we've seen it under previous regimes. They just start off so slowly, and they don't feel like they have urgency when the game starts. And that's one thing I hope that they've been able to address during this bye week is y'all need to start like the first quarter freaking matters because the first quarter sets the tone for the entire football game. You don't want to get behind, and certainly don't want to be behind to a team that is grasping at its last straws in the Las Vegas Raiders. But I also think, and we've talked about this a ton, Taylor, you love Travis Etienne, right? What does he need to do? Run the football on the perimeter, get the ball to him in space. Use the guys that you brought in for speed, the De'Ami Browns and Travis Hunters, if you're going to do the end arounds and things like that. But take some pressure off of Trevor Lawrence. And whether it's Bashal Tootin, Travis Etienne, LaQuint Allen, I don't care who gets the football as long as they're able to move the football. That will also help him because then he's also not running around fearing for his life. And he's also able to process everything quicker.
Yeah, and I've said that a lot. I don't want to see him throw 45 times and you run the ball 19. I don't like that, and I get it. Behind the sticks, when you're behind, you're going to throw more. That's what it is. But even early in games, you're seeing that. In the first couple drives, you're still seeing pass, mix a run in every now and then. I want to see right out of the gates you using one of the stronger parts of your offense, which has been the run, and using both Bashal Tootin and Travis Etienne.
Yeah, he's still ranked Etienne 8th in yards per game, rushing the football. And think about it, he hasn't done hardly anything the past 2 games out. But the first 5, he was very effective. So I would bet that's a good self-check that they went into the film room and said, all right, listen, we got to figure out a way to take like 6-7 plays and get Etienne and Tootin into some kind of rhythm, see if we can get our quarterback into a rhythm. Again, I sometimes feel, and this goes around the league, feels like coordinators get a little cute. You know what I mean? Like, just go to your bread and butter. On occasion, you throw the cute one. You know what I mean? Like, but go to the things that work. Go to the things that you know the percentage of it being a good play is higher than most. You know what I mean?
You don't want to overthink it.
You don't want to overthink it. Sometimes, and in college too, I think sometimes they just overthink themselves. They're trying to be too smart, too cute's not the word, but too smart for their own good. Just go to what works until they can't stop it, and then you can then you can. I'm out of practice. Then you can, do your little wiggle and whatever else you're going to bring to the table.
I mean, I think if you were to ask Liam off the record, I'm sure he would admit that there was a lot of overthinking when he was facing his mentor in Sean McVay in London,
Yeah,
right?
I'm sure.
All right, so we just talked about how the Jaguars need to run the football more. Here's what Liam Cohen has to say on that.
Yeah, I got to call more runs in general. When we run the football, we're a little bit more balanced. Anytime you're more balanced, you have the defense on their toes, so it's a matter of, like you said, winning first and second down. You start drives and you have a run, you get a hold in your first and 20. Now, I'm probably not going to run it on first, who knows, but you're trying to just look for the balance. And when you're able to run the football, you see around the league all day yesterday, points being scored. And, when you can run the ball and be effective running the football, it's something that we've got to get back to being able to do a little bit more.
Yeah, it is situational.
Yep.
If you're facing first and 20, you're probably not going to run the football. However, there are other times that I do think they could have deployed the run more.
You think about that trap that they've run so effectively before Brenton got hurt. Hunter Long's got to step up and be that guy, man. They need you to come across that line, across the formation and deliver that trap block, because when that's timed up right, that's a good hitter for Etienne. Keep him off tackle. Yeah. He's better off tackle, and if you can get those blocks going again, you can get something going. It's funny. I know Strange is out, but you'll get Devin Lloyd back, right? Is Devin back? Is he going to be back?
We won't know until later this week.
Trayvon, another week with a healed hand. Maybe he can use his thumb.
Yeah, start using
he
some
really
of
needs that thumb, man. I'm telling you.
phalanges.
So he can grab something. We start getting our dogs back, our tough guys. Yeah. And Brenton Strange's one of them. I mean, think about him as a blocker, man. He's been really good.
And so's Quentin Morris.
He is.
We know Brenton Strange is going to be out
at
a minimum of the 4 games, but I do think Quentin Morris is an underrated blocker. We've seen him with splash plays on special teams. He was out the most recent game against the Rams with that groin injury. So, certainly hoping that Devin Lloyd can come back with the calf injury. Not sure. We'll find out more on Wednesday. All right, we'll get it to college football when we return. Talk about a certain firing that rocked the college football world over the weekend. You are listening to Helmets and Heels on a Big Chief Tire Monday on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
Helmets and Heels from the Greenlaw Group Studios.
Game days aren't the only win happening in the 904. Best of Bold City named 904 Gutters with a Z, the #1 seamless gutter company in Duval. Like the team's O-line protects their QB. Call the winning team at 904 Gutters with a Z to protect your home from the rain.
It's a Big Chief Tire Monday. The local Jacksonville shop for fair prices and service you can trust.
You don't need to bet everything on a Hail Mary. Just find a ride in your budget. Because Southside Kia is now Kia on Atlantic. New name, new location, same great deals. And we have the perfect place during the Kia Fall Savings event, like a new Kia payment free for a full 90 days. Or take advantage of financing rates as low as 0%. It's always a touchdown when you shop the best deals in town. Kia on Atlantic, your coastal Kia connection.
For complete details, call 904-250-0587.
Do you have numbness and tingling in your fingers, or wake up at night and have to shake your hand? Hi, I'm Dr. George Bari, and at Bari Orthopedics, we have a myriad of treatments that can possibly help you. If you have numbness and tingling, you may have carpal tunnel. We have cortisone injections, PRP injections, and shockwave therapy that may help treat the numbness and tingling that you have. We also treat it surgically with endoscopic carpal tunnel release, a 2-centimeter incision that will release the nerve and have you back at work and doing what you want to do in life in no time. If you have numbness and tingling in your hand, give us a call at Bari Orthopedics or log on at bariorthopedics.com.
Frank Frangie here for Coyle & Sons Fencing. Jacksonville is full of memorable sports moments. Remember the 2017 AFC Championship game when Miles Jack wasn't down? You know what else isn't down? Fences installed by Coyle. Their fences have been standing tall here in Jacksonville for nearly a century. Since 1927, Coyle has been the fencing leader in Northeast Florida. If you're in the market for a new fence, I recommend calling Coyle & Sons today at 904-356-4821, CoyleJacks.com. That's C-O-Y-L-E Jacks.com. Coyle Fencing, proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
The World Poker Tour is here at Best Bet Jacksonville through November 18th. Now is your time to become a World Poker Tour champion with 14 poker tournaments, including the Best Bet Scramble, a $5,000 buy-in, no-limit hold'em main event with a $1 million guaranteed prize pool. Win your way in through satellites happening now. For the full World Poker Tour schedule and more information, visit bestbetjacks.com. That's bestbetjacks.com.
When storms start to crop up in the Atlantic or Gulf this time of year, having a solid plan to handle anything that sweeps through the First Coast is very important. That's where American Electrical comes in. Ensure your home's safety and comfort with an American Electrical home generator. As the area's leading home generator dealer and installer, American Electrical can offer you easy installation, simple maintenance, and peace of mind. Schedule an assessment by simply calling the team at American Electrical. They'll walk you through the best generator for your home or business. Log on, american-electrical.com.
Yo, this is Tony from Tony D's. Are you looking for a great slice of pizza? Well, we have about 12 varieties. Most places won't have slices of pizza after lunch. At Tony D's, you can get a slice all day. It's always fresh at Tony D's Pizza. Bay Meadows and 295.
Are you an experienced chiller technician and looking for a role where your skills are truly valued? It's time to make the move to Local 234, plumbers, pipe fitters, and HVAC technicians. You'll get top pay, comprehensive health and welfare benefits for your family, and a pension that doesn't come out of your pocket. Join the team that's got your back. Local 234, proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Visit UA234.com to send your resume today.
Equal opportunity employer. The holidays are here, full of joy, family, friends, and yes, a little hustle and bustle. That's why you need Aleve. Between cooking, shopping, and all those extra errands, aches and pains can sneak in. Aleve is here to help with long-lasting body pain relief. Don't let body pain slow you down. With up to 12 hours of body pain relief per dose, you can keep up with the season's magic and all that awaits. Pick up Aleve and get back to what really matters, making memories. Use as directed.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. When it's game time, Farah doesn't flinch.
It's a great night to be a Tiger. I'm here with my family.
I cannot. That was one of the funny. All of that was so cringy to me. That then the video with the player where it's like one of those like 3D, 360 cameras or whatever. I was like, that moment. I was like, this is about to fail miserably.
No doubt.
Were Notre Dame fans excited when Brian Kelly left? I know you were, but the majority of Notre Dame fans.
I would say there was like a very small group of Notre Dame fans that were like, is like the grass greener? You know, they weren't quite sure who was going to be the coach next and what that looks like. And he had been there obviously a long time. And so I do think that there was a very small group of people that were like, I don't know what this is going to look like without Brian Kelly. And then, but I would say there's not one Notre Dame fan that I know that wasn't like thrilled, celebrating when he left. Not just like, oh, okay, this is good, but like ecstatic when he was gone.
Wasn't he complaining before the season that he couldn't recruit at LSU or something like that? He was like, it's not fair or something.
Notre Dame.
When he was at LSU. Didn't he before the season talk about that he was...
he did, I feel
like
had
something
some
like
quote,
he couldn't get the right recruit, and we're like, what are you talking about? You're at LSU. The accent killed him. The fake accent killed him. I mean, that was the nail in the coffin. Even before you got there, God's sitting there going, yeah, I'm going to humble your ass, Brian. You just wait. You can, be in your limelight right now with all that fake accent stuff, but we're going to crumble you. But listen, you got to win there. And I know he won, what, it was 34-14, I think I saw on TV. Lost the last 3, but that's the big difference. Like at a school like that, you're expected to compete for the national title. Yeah. And if you don't, they start thinking about who's next. Like, I get it. I like it. I mean, I like it. Now, for me in Boston College, and I mean this when I say this, if I die without them ever winning a national title, I'll be okay. I don't bleed like that. You know what I mean? But I know a lot of people do. And people for LSU, Florida, Georgia, even Notre Dame, maybe they do bleed for that. They'll do anything for it. all they want is to say, my team is in the hunt or in the champion. And if you're not, it's smell you later. Yeah. And I look, it's high stakes, but look, what are they going to pay him? $50 million? They got to negotiate that, but still, he's got a buyout of 50.
Negotiating is $54 million for the buyout. He was 34-14, 19-10 in SEC play. So winning record.
That's not good enough. That's not good enough.
Just like James Franklin's contract, as far as the next payment or the lump sum payment changes if he does get another job. Franklin's contract requires him to look for another job. I don't know if that's part of Kelly's language.
Right.
The contract that they had with him. But if he does get another job, whether it's coaching or in media, then that reduces that $54 million. Yep. But regardless, the athletic director, Scott Woodward, is the one who gave Jimbo Fisher that contract. And obviously Texas A&M is paying him $74 million as far as the buyout, and then gave this contract. So people are wondering and asking, should Scott Strickland be able to give the next, or be able to pick the next head coach and give him a new contract? Like, I'd be way more concerned as a Bayou Bengal about Woodward and the finances that he's just blowing through. And it's not like there's just a wealthy owner waiting to pay this like in the NFL. This is coming out of boosters' pockets. So that to me is interesting. Here's to me what goes to show you a coach's personality factors into whether or not they're going to keep their job or how long they're going to keep their job. So Brian Kelly, to your point, he went from talking about his famous family to being fired within 4 years, and the 34-13 overall record. James Franklin had a 104-45 overall record. He was 65-37 in the Big Ten. So again, good winning percentage for him.
Yeah.
Billy Napier, 22-23 overall, including a 12-16 record in the SEC. He lasted one game less, one game fewer than Brian Kelly, and just a couple games fewer than James Franklin. I think that's because he's a good human being and a good guy to work with. The other two, I think the athletic directors and everyone else kind of got to the point where they were like, I don't even want this guy coming in the building. And we've obviously seen, Taylor, so many videos and heard so many stories of Brian Kelly just losing his ever-loving mind. We played the clip earlier this year on our show of him going back and forth with that reporter who was just asking about the offense. Yeah, because the offense only scored 20 points against Florida when they won 20-10. Florida threw DJ Lagway threw 5 interceptions. Like, come on, man.
And that's what I was about to say. I think for them, you're not playing or I guess coaching up to the standard that LSU wants you to be, but on top of that, there's issues outside of that. And it's like when the Greg Brooks Jr. thing came up too, obviously with the player who had the tumor, and some of that came up that Brian Kelly didn't go see him in the hospital. And I've heard both sides of it, but those type of stories have kind of followed Brian Kelly for a long time. And I think that makes it easier to let go of a coach like that, because yes, football is the thing, but you also, these guys, these head coaches now, you spend so much time with them. Like these the student athletes, and the amount of time that the football player spends with these head coaches, and the role model kind of thing that they are supposed to be for a lot of these guys. They say they're family, and he kind of used it in that. So you want a guy that can lead them to wins, but also to be good people. And Brian Kelly has a long history of things not going in that way. And same with James Franklin. There's been a lot of things with James Franklin too, of not really maybe being the best guy.
I saw a story that Brian Kelly's center for 2 years, like almost never even talked to him. That he had virtually no personal relationship with some of his players. And yet he was a starter for 2 years for him. But
you sent us the quote from Marcel Reed too, which was hilarious because
Tommy Moffitt is
who was the strength and conditioning coach for LSU, and he said he brought out they put Brian Kelly's face on like the blocking this week for the players, and that was their motivation. I texted my friend that covers Texas A&M. We've had him on Helmets and Heels too, but I was like, this is hilarious. Like as a Notre Dame fan, I'm thriving off of these stories right now. And he's like, yeah, I'm not sure the A&M like athletic department is going to be too happy that they actually like put that out there.
They told other people that. That's understandable.
Did you say the same AD did Jimbo and him?
Yes, and Brian Kelly.
That's it. Like, board of directors get a new AD. Like you don't get another shot at that. I mean, that's a lot of miss. That's a big 2 misses. Right? I mean, eventually you got to. What about
misses.
The AD? That's
and Jimbo Fisher
recently
deals. Said, like, if only I had, access to recruiting,
money,
bring big ad
budget,
back.
Like, literally, you're at Texas A&M. But Mike Elko's team certainly got the best of LSU. And to me, when you see a coach, or that a coach is going to be fired, when you see the writing on the wall, is when the home team fans are screaming fire.
Yeah.
And we saw that at Florida. Yep, we saw that with Billy Napier and the fans there after a win, no less. And then you saw it, obviously, LSU got just absolutely destroyed in the second half. And part of that is the strength and conditioning coach. Like the second half of games is where you certainly lean on what you've been doing in the locker room and the weight room. By the way, I learned a new phrase. It's Cajun French for "that's all." Say two, and that's what everyone in Louisiana, as soon as the information,
say two, smell you later.
Say two. That's all, Brian Kelly.
I
love it. That is and look, by the way, I saw this stat, which is insane. Before Saturday, LSU was the only team in the Power Four, along with North Carolina, to not score at least 25 points in a game.
Wow.
LSU had scored 20 or did score 25 this most recent game against A&M, but that's because they got a touchdown in garbage time when A&M's backups were in. But you don't want to be in the same category as Bill
Well,
Belichick's
and that's
North
why
Carolina.
people were asking Brian Kelly that question, because they were beating all right teams or bad teams, but they weren't scoring offensively. So that's what that poor reporter was trying to say. Like, is this offense going to get anywhere? And he had a meltdown.
Yeah, he did. He snapped on him.
Crashed out.
Yeah, the Texas A&M Aggies outscored LSU 60-6 last year in the second half and this year in the second half. And again,
beautiful.
That's why, exactly.
That Marcel
Taylor,
Reed's special, man.
Taylor,
he's special. Reed, the QB.
Absolutely.
he's
I think right now he's certainly in the Heisman Trophy contention,
for sure.
if not the top one. All right, more to do on the other side, including Taylor's Tangent. You are listening to Helmets and Heels on a Big Chief Tire Monday. You can find them online at wekeepjacksrollin.com. You can make your appointment right then and there, whether you need tires, brake services, wheel alignments, or oil changes. It's 1010XL and 92.5 FM.
The Gator Boys are back and ready to defend their national title.
Florida will cut down the nets. Winners of the national championship.
This is Gator Country. Your home for Gators hoops is 1010XL.
Helmets and Heels.
Protected by
Green Law Group. For the insured. Fighting for you.
Hey folks, it's Frank Frangie for Lee and Kate's Class, and I think you deserve a spa-like shower, don't you? Get rid of that dirty, dated setup you have in your bathroom. Those old-style showers can be really ugly. Install a gorgeous frameless shower with thick, sexy glass and a free diamond coating protection that's easier to clean, like Rain-X for your shower. Your bathroom will feel like a luxury spa every morning and night. You deserve it. Visit my friends at leeandkatesglass.com.
You're gonna see a big difference.
Big Chief Tire Monday on Helmets and Heels.
Hey, Jacksonville, I'm sure by now you've seen our bright green GFL trucks and containers throughout the greater Jacksonville area. We are an industry leader in solid waste and would love the opportunity to earn your business. We are committed to customer service, reliability, and have unwavering focus on safety. Whether commercial or construction, let us haul your waste away. Call 904-760-5880 to get a quote today. GFL, green for life.
Hey, First Coast, it's your boy Leon Searcy, your lemon pepper guy. Back and better than ever for Wingstop. You know I can't resist those crispy, flavorful wings that make your taste buds dance. Wingstop just opened a hot new spot on Jeremiah Street in Middleborough. There's 17 locations, now serving up the most mouth-watering wings in town. And my all-time favorite, lemon pepper. Try their new quick and easy ordering on the app and swing by today for fresh, hot wings made for you. Only at Wingstop.
This Date in Sports History is brought to you by Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
On October 27th, 1991, the Minnesota Twins beat the Atlanta Braves in Game 7 of the World Series in a 10-inning classic.
Hi, I'm Sean Monahan from Monahan Jewelers in Atlantic Beach. Since 1977, we've been Jacksonville's local family jeweler with a beautiful selection of fine jewelry and certified diamonds. But we're also Jacksonville's leading buyer of gold, silver, and diamonds from the public. Gold has recently hit an all-time high at over $3,600 per ounce. Pay bills, buy something fun. Now is the time to sell your gold for cash and get top dollar, or trade it in for a new piece and get even more value at Monahan Jewelers in Atlantic Beach.
Hey friends, Frank Frangie here. You know me, I don't mess around when it comes to taking care of business. Well, if your plumbing or AC company is giving you excuses, it's time to make a trade. Call the pros at Duck Duck Rooter. They're the trusted partner for some of the biggest commercial names in Northeast Florida. Their office team keeps billing smooth and their field techs show up ready to fix the problem. Fast and right. Bring in the starters with Duck Duck Rooter, a proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Call 904-862-6769. 904-862-6769. Tell them Frank sent you.
Baloo here for Smunez Vision. Why Smunez Vision? Well, I've been with Dr. Neil Smunez now since I got back to Jacksonville in 2006. 37 years of experience he has. Smunez Vision is a family organization that focuses on personal high-quality medical and surgical eye care. Dr. Catherine Smunez is fellowship trained in cornea and cataract surgery and all refractive surgery. Combined, that's 30 years plus in laser eye surgery. Visit SmunezVision.com today. Here you can see.
What does AM and PM stand for in terms of the clock?
Southern Oak Insurance is proud to continue offering coverage statewide. Financial stability makes Southern Oak Insurance a wise choice for your homeowner's insurance needs. Log on to southernoak.com.
Our family protecting yours. Southern Oak Insurance.
AM stands for anti-meridium, before midday, and PM stands for post-meridium, afternoon.
Southern Oak Insurance. Our family protecting yours.
What's happening, folks? It's your main man, E.T., of course. And whether you're biking through shaded forest trails, casting a line from Camp Chow Pier, or enjoying music by the St. Johns River, Clay County is full of ways to play. This month, experience off-road trails at the 2025 Crawling for the Fallen. Savor bold flavors and classic rides at Moose Haven's 15th annual Chili Cook-Off and Car Show, and celebrate the fall season at fall festivals all across the county. Find a full lineup at ExploreClay.com. Come on, somebody.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Focused, fueled, fearless, Farah.
Come over here, sit next to me. We can see where things go naturally.
Taylor Dahl, Tom McManus, RJ Saunders. I'm Lauren Brooks with you on this Big Chief Tire Monday. Taylor's going to head to a haunted house while we are in Vegas, most likely.
I'm excited. I had to like kind of trick Jacob Simons into doing it with me, but because I had a feeling, I know you're not the biggest like horror movie fan or scary stuff, so I was like, I don't think Lauren's gonna do it. I feel like Tommy might kill somebody in one of those, so I'll ask Jacob. So he said it'll go, but it looks really cool. They have this giant warehouse, and inside the warehouse, there's 4 different haunted houses in it, and then like 3 scare zones, and then like a themed.
Doesn't sound like fun?
What's the difference between a haunted house and a scare
Like the scare zones are more so just like. Like the houses, obviously, you walk through and they're themed, and there's like people that pop out at you and whatever. The scare zones are more so just like they don't have people acting. It's more so you walk through like different spooky themed areas to where they may have like a couple creepy people, but they don't like mess with you like they do in the houses.
Right.
And then there's like a big bar in there that's like a haunted theme bar. So I'm very excited.
Now that part.
yeah, it'll be all right.
Then we'd be okay. All right, so time now for Taylor's Tangent.
Now, Taylor's Tangent, served up by Chick-fil-A on 1010XL.
So we're talking about sad fan bases right now. The Athletic put out an article, and they were saying time to fight over who's sadder, and the NFL based. And so they have a few teams on here that they feel like the fan bases are having a bad time right now. And you could probably add a few, honestly, after what happened. We saw an unfortunate injury to Scadaboo. Giants fans may hop in this right now because he's been so much fun to watch, obviously, through the first 7 weeks of that season. And then
they already lost Malik Neighbors for
they
the
lost
entire
Neighbors all
season.
year.
Just to see the team react to the Scadaboo injury too, it was rough.
Yeah, he's just, and when you everyone was always like, okay, I think Scadaboo's going to get hurt because he's insane and he like slams his head against the walls and is like crazy. But then this was obviously an ankle injury, so it's not kind of what you expected from him. I was expecting a concussion at some point, not an ankle.
He had by the way, he had surgery last night to repair the dislocation. You could tell it was bad right away by the players' reactions, and then you saw immediately he was air casted.
You saw the foot.
Yeah.
If you watch the replay, you saw the foot.
And then taken off the field. And it's just, you saw Jackson Dart responding to.
He headbutted him on the cart, by the way.
Did,
I was like,
it was
they're
a soft
so funny.
one.
I know.
But yeah, Jackson Dart was off to the side. They panned to him. Like he was just screaming. It was just, it was miserable.
Awful.
We were out watching because our slate that we got at home was not great yesterday for the 1 o'clock games. So we were out watching and I felt so bad. There was a guy, a Giants fan, in a Scadaboo jersey.
Oh, no.
I know. I was like, don't dislocate your ankle.
Yeah.
Yeah, no doubt. Yeah, paid programming at 1 p.m.
Oh,
Give me a break.
Yeah, it was rough.
Come on. Get a game on there.
So they do the top 5 of what they believe. And so the 5th, so obviously 1 to 5, the 1 being the saddest they believe. So their 5 is the Bengals. They said, obviously, that's what we were just talking about a little bit, that Jets game. But Cincinnati scored 38 points with Joe Flacco and then still lost to the Jets. So that's not ideal. And then you don't really know what's going on with Joe Burrow when he's going to be back. And that's just something that's also going to linger because this is multiple injuries now with Joe Burrow. And so I do feel like at some point you have to have a backup plan. You have to start thinking about stuff because this is
the backup plan is Joe Flacco.
But it can't be forever. I mean, he's saying himself, like, I don't know how much longer I can do that. So they have the Bengals as number 5. They have the Falcons as number 4. The Falcons have just been getting hit over and over again recently with the Drake. Drake London, Michael Penix hurt. It's just been one thing after another when it comes to injuries for them too. But they obviously with the Dolphins yesterday, That's not the team that you want to get beaten by right now, who's unraveling themselves. But it was 34-10. It is the Falcons' second straight loss that puts them at 3-4, well behind that 6-2 Bucks. So it's getting to that point where they're kind of probably getting a little worried. The Steelers they have as number 3, and so the way that's what they said. So it says, does anything ever change with this team? Put whatever quarterback or offensive coordinator on the payroll, and you're still going to get slightly above average play with a low playoff ceiling. Pittsburgh is 4-3 still, but last night's loss to the Packers showed glaring weaknesses against the league's best. I think it's that conversation we've had, though, where it's like the Steelers are always that. Like, they'll be right above 500 or at 500, and Mike Tomlin gets them there, but they haven't been able to do anything more than that in a long time. And when you talk about fan bases with high expectations, the Pittsburgh Steelers are one of those fan bases.
Yeah, I wouldn't put them as one of the saddest to me, just because they've gotten better play out of Aaron Rodgers than maybe some would have thought. By the way, the Circa Survivor, as of yesterday, 4,210 entries. A little under 1,500 people had the Colts, so they're safe. Ooh. Almost 1,400 people had the Falcons, and 765 people had the Bengals. Oh. So they are knocked out.
Dang. That was, a lot of people got hurt on that one.
And then one person had the 49ers also knocked out.
Yeah, well, we also both had the 49ers. That was not how I expected that to go. But so number 2, they have a tie with the Saints and the Titans. I think this makes sense. But they said, I lumped these teams together due to similar profiles. The Titans have their quarterback in Cam Ward with a coaching search ahead. The Saints have their coach in Kellen Moore with a quarterback search ahead. Both are 1-7. So not a fun time right there in Tennessee or New Orleans. The number 1, they have the Browns. I feel like this is just, I mean, the Browns.
I can't argue that one.
Although Myles Garrett doesn't feel that way.
No, he had 5
He's
sacks
insane.
yesterday.
Oh, my gosh.
He had more sacks yesterday than Dylan Gabriel's yards per attempt.
Yeah. 4.5.
Yeah. That's not exactly what you want to see. And I also think I saw something the other day where it was like the last time each team had won their division. And the Browns haven't won their division since 1970. That's insane. Or maybe it was 80, but somewhere around then. It's insane to think about that. But it's like, hey, we always end up here. Sorry, Cleveland fans. Your superstar defensive end puts up a monster day, 5 sacks, obviously, but in a blowout loss that had the home stadium hearing MVP chants for the opposing quarterback.
Yeah, Drake May has looked excellent.
Under duress, too. I mean, he was hammered yesterday. Still completed like 75% of his passes and 3 touchdowns. Turned out to be a good QB.
Yeah, so they do have the Giants. They said you may want to add the Giants into this after the Scatterboo injury, but at least the Jaguars are not on the saddest fan base list. You're still at 4-3. Yeah, you got to buy week to breathe.
The Raiders,
it might be on
in
that
the
list.
top 5.
Yeah.
All right, we've got lunch to give away.
We do. Free lunch to Chick-fil-A. Give us a call at 641-1010. Let's say caller number 2. You get free lunch to Chick-fil-A today.
I like it. All right, Lauren's Lane on the other side. Back to college football we go. It is Helmets and Heels on a Big Chiefs Tower Monday on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
1010XL is committed to getting you closer to your favorite players. That's why we send Jags beat reporter Hayes Carlyon to bring you back one-on-one interviews in the locker room, unsealed by Renewal by Anderson Custom Windows and Doors.
This is Helmets and Heels.
Fought for you by Green Law Group on 1010XL.
Make Honda of the Avenues your first stop for award-winning customer service and world-class Honda vehicles. Our inventory is larger than ever, which means we have the perfect Honda waiting for you. Plus, at Honda of the Avenues, we always put our customers first, making the car buying experience fun, fast, and easy. You'll always find great deals on our huge selection of new and certified pre-owned Hondas, all prepped and ready for a test drive. Come see just how different car buying can be at Honda of the Avenues today. Stop by or shop from home at HondaofTheAvenues.com. Proud sponsor of Sporting Jags.
It's a Helmets and Heels Big Chief Tire Monday.
DivorceMenOnly.com. This is Kenny Lay of Kenny Lay & Associates. Our firm specializes in representing men in family law. That's all we do. That's our only focus. We can help with all of your family law needs, such as divorce, custody, alimony, and child support. For over a decade, we have helped thousands of men with these types of issues. We even have an appellate division ready to challenge a judge's ruling. If you need a family law attorney, go to DivorceMenOnly.com. DivorceMenOnly.com. Offices, Jacksonville.
Give us your hot take.
Pop quiz, hot shot.
On the 1010XL text line, designed by Lifetime Enclosures.
You know what I'm saying? Well, I'm awake and I speak English, so yeah, I do know what you're saying.
Be part of the conversation. 641-1010.
Yo, you already know it's your main man ET. And no one does happy hour like Twin Peaks. Whatever your preference, we have everything from tequila cocktails and an extensive bourbon category to top shelf spirits and cocktails. Served over ice balls, local craft beers, and handcrafted whiskey cocktails. Rounded out with adventurous drink menus, second to none. And don't forget about our 29-degree drafts. Check them out now on Atlantic and Kernan. Twin Peaks, eat, drink, scenic views. Come on, somebody.
Keeping kids active is a full-time job for parents, so let I-9 Sports help. They've got winter and spring registration open right now for kids all over the First Coast to enjoy their favorite sports. Log on to i9sports.com and don't miss out on the upcoming seasons. Enter 1010 in the promo code.
Home of the Jacksonville Jaguars. WJXL AM Jacksonville Beach. WJXL FM Jacksonville Beach.
What if you could pull up to $500,000 in cash out of your home and drop your mortgage rate to 4.99% APR? Hey, Prosser here, and right now at Loan Pronto, they've got the lowest rates in 3 years. With Loan Pronto's rapid equity loan, you can get your cash in as little as 3 days, pay off all those high-interest credit cards, and even skip your next 2 house payments. One client just got $300,000 approved in under 24 hours. Paid off their debt, paid off 2 car loans, saved $2,100 a month. One call, life change. There's no wait, no hard credit pull. You probably won't need an appraisal. Just fast, easy cash from your home's equity. Rates at a 3-year low. Act now. Call 914-999-1508 or visit loanpronto.com for your free instant home appraisal. See how much cash you can get today. Call 914-999-1508. See how much cash you can get today. You can also visit loanpronto.com. Equal housing lender, NMLS 1661781. On approved credit, visit NMLSconsumeraccess.org.
Mark Watson with Hardball Creative, here to share with you an actual client review.
Dude, these shirts are sick.
Check out the shirts and other sick promo items at hardballcreative.com.
Hardball Creative. Hardball does it all.
Home is where your story begins. And at Donovan Air Electric and Plumbing, we're here to make it the healthiest, most comfortable place it could be. Whether it's fresh, clean air, dependable plumbing, or reliable power, we take care of it all. From routine maintenance to state-of-the-art solutions, Donovan keeps your home running smoothly. Because at Donovan, we believe your home isn't just where you live, it's where your health meets comfort. Call Donovan Air Electric and Plumbing at 904-270-COOL or visit us online. Let's make your home healthier, safer, and better together.
Joe C. for Preferred Roofing, reminding you your roof is more than just felt and shingles. It's a system that not only keeps your home dry, but also impacts your heating and cooling bills. Preferred Roofing and Construction is a GAF Master Elite Roofing Contractor, lauded for having the ability to educate and inform homeowners on their options. Why GAF and Preferred Roofing? They're veteran-owned and operated with ties to Duval for decades. A family business ready to make sure your family has a good roof over its head. Log on, preferredroofingjax.com.
I'm Max Fink with your 1010XL Southeast Orthopedic Specialist local sports update. After an opening night victory, the Magic lost 2 straight over the weekend to the Hawks and the Bulls. They'll look to get back to 500 as they head up to Philly to take on the 76ers in the city of brotherly love tonight at 7 p.m. Game 3 of the World Series between the Blue Jays and the Dodgers will begin at 8 o'clock in Dodger Stadium. It's 80 degrees at 3:02. Time and temp brought to you by Bueller Air and Plumbing. Stay cooler with Bueller.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Still, present, ready. Farah doesn't flinch.
Max Fink just cutting to the core of RJ Saunders with his update about the Orlando Magic dropping 2 in a row. So sorry, RJ.
Go Bulls.
You want to talk to me about that and not the fact that Austin Reeves is an absolute boss.
I didn't put any.
You want me to turn your mic on?
NBA in the update. It was Max putting NBA in the update. He didn't talk about the Lakers. That's why
you hate me, don't you?
I do not.
We're not cool.
We're not cool.
Congratulations on the Lakers' victory. How's that?
See, Lauren. How are you this Monday morning? Everything good? How's the family? How's Brian? How's the dog?
Good.
You know what I'm saying?
Good.
How's the dog?
Don't.
Like I said,
Keaton's
I didn't
great.
write the update. I just felt like he was trying to stab you with the Magic part of things. No, RJ's all in on the Lakers, not the Magic now.
I mean, I'm in on the Magic too, but let's not bury the lead here in Jacksonville, FL8. Austin Reeves deserves every part of that Luka Doncic extension after last night against the Sacramento Kings, 51 points with no LeBron, no Luka. I mean, you had me stay up, well past my bedtime in order to watch you do what you do. So.
And tonight, like you said, you've got Game 3 for the Dodgers. I know you're not as big into baseball, but certainly that's one we'll talk about in a little bit. But time now for Lawrence Lane.
Now, Lawrence Lane, driven by Mazda at the Avenues. This is luxury. This is Mazda at the Avenues.
So we already talked about one Diana Rossini report. She works for The Athletic about the Jaguars potentially shopping Brian Thomas Jr. And then Liam Cohen certainly said that is not going to happen earlier today. Well, on Saturday, she reported that she was told representatives for Texas coach Steve Sarkisian have let NFL decision makers know he would be interested in potential head coaching openings, including the Titans. Well, let's hear from Steve Sarkisian himself.
Yeah, I'd love to touch on this, so bear with me for a second, because it really pisses me off that one person can make a report that in turn the entire media sports world runs with as factual, to the point of my agency and my agents have to put a statement out that they never have done. Historically, CAA, Jimmy Sexton, and Ed Manowitz have never do that. But I had to do that to protect my locker room and my team. And I thought it was absolutely ridiculous. I thought it was completely unprofessional of that person to put that report out. And the fact that everybody ran with it is borderline embarrassing for the media. And I respect what you guys do. I really do. And everybody else. But the fact that everybody ran that as truth is really embarrassing. Okay, so I've got a small circle when I make decisions on what I do and what I don't do, and nobody would speak on my behalf without me knowing. And so where that report came from, I'd love to talk to that person because it's absolutely ridiculous.
And that's why you can't read everything you see on the internet, ladies and gentlemen.
Believe what you see.
It's funny though because when I saw that, I texted Cole Thompson, who we had on last week, he lives out in Houston. He works for the radio station that's the Texas Longhorns station, and I sent him that, and he said it's legit. He's said multiple times he wants to get back to the NFL. So it's like I don't know if you just don't want your team to think that you want to leave. So when you're coaching in the NFL next year, you're gonna have to explain that to some people, Sark. But I do. You never know. I think that with these people, sometimes it's one of those things where it's like someone says something. Like maybe he had a conversation with someone being like, one day I'd like to maybe get back to the NFL. And that person took it and ran with it. And then, however, that report starts to get the big game of telephone where it starts getting kind of misconstrued still. But Cole was very confident in saying everything he's been hearing from their station, too. Said that there's been multiple comments where he's said things in that world.
By the way, Texas went to overtime against Mississippi State. But did end up winning. And that's when those comments were posted.
Listen, you got to lie.
Yeah,
sometimes as a coach. You can't. What am I going to say?
Be convincing about it.
It's true, and I really do hope the Tennessee Titans call me, and then all my players are like, "What? I'm out of here. Where's the portal? I can't get out." You know what I mean? It would just be too much. Whether he's telling the truth one way or the other. He does. And I know we hold our coaches to the fire. Well, you said you weren't going anywhere, but I know. But the offer's 4 times greater than what it is here. I gotta go. But you can't say things in the middle of it all.
Yeah,
right?
so Lane Kiffin said to Molly McGrath last week, he said, I'm always going to put my family over money. Finances are not going to control my decisions. If he ends up taking a job, whether it's at Florida or at LSU, and he leaves Ole Miss, where he's obviously said that he's there to and he's enjoying his family there. And his daughter, Leandry, said she wanted him to stay there and things like that last year when he was getting job offers, or at least, according to reports, getting job offers. So if he says something like that, but then he takes the money and runs, do you think that he's telling the truth?
No, and he would have to. You'd have to. He's got to. You have to protect, and you got to protect your employee. You can't just leave them hanging like that. That's just a world. So I can understand. He went a little.
He was intense.
Yeah, he was a little intense. But I get where he's like, you got to squash that, man. I can't have that being out there. What? My players are going to start asking me questions. People are going to start in. The athletic director, board directors, will be like, hey, Steve, what's going on? I'm hearing you're trying to get out of here. No, I'm not trying to do anything.
Texas has the loss, obviously, to start the season against Ohio State, and then the loss to Florida. So there's also, I'm sure, frustration within, his building.
Kind of a disappointment of what this year's been. And and what Arch has been, and that's going to be a conversation too. I know last week, late, I want to say maybe Thursday, Friday, the Lane Kiffin reports came out that he said he needs to talk to his team himself. And so I feel like that's probably the better way to handle it, is not freak out on the media because a report comes out, but being like, I'm going to talk to my team. That's the only people that really deserve to hear anything about this conversation right now at this point in time.
I just feel like it's early, right, in this whole thing with like Signetti at Indiana, just staying, and there's them saying, hey, we want you forever. Like, here's $100 million. That's your 100%. You get it no matter what. We just want you to stay here and build a championship. And with everything you can do, as long as you got the backing and the right people, you can win. You may not win a championship every year, but you're going to be in that top 16.
Yeah, Texas can win the national championship.
Absolutely. No, they can. I was talking about Indiana. I don't know if they can. Maybe they can. I don't know. But we'll
if Indiana
find out.
wins the national championship in football this year,
right,
over teams like Ohio State and Alabama and the likes. I mean,
but I guess that's where I'm getting at. Like, if you're Lane Kiffin and they want to give you as much money as anybody else, why would you want to leave? Why is in today's college football? And I know I might piss a lot of people off here, but I don't care. Is Alabama that much better of a job than Ole Miss? Is Florida that much better than Ole Miss? I mean, if you can win at Ole Miss, if you can, and you're getting your fan, like, why would you leave? Why would you ever want him to leave? Like, if I'm Ole Miss, I'm like, I'm not letting him leave. I'm going to give him everything. Now, if he says Florida's a better job, I can't. If I can give them everything and they match it or whatever.
I think the jobs are closer, but you can't recruit the types of players in the state of Mississippi that you can recruit in Florida. And really, Louisiana has a lot of good football players as well. So you don't have to leave the state in order to recruit football players here in Florida. Certainly in California, in Texas, like those are other states. Ohio is another one, Georgia. But again, Florida's still the best as far as the top tier talent. So that's the one edge that maybe you'd give, but when you talk about the fan bases, like the Florida and LSU fan bases have higher expectations than what the Ole Miss fan base has. Those fan bases have higher expectations certainly than Indiana has had as of late. By the way, speaking of Lane Kiffin, Ole Miss is now 29-0 when leading by 10+ points at the half.
Wow.
So the Rebels, went into Oklahoma, won 34-26.
If I'm a kid at Florida and Ole Miss comes and they offer me a bunch of money and I feel like they could win, I'd probably go.
Yeah.
Why I have no allegiance to Florida or Florida State. Maybe if my family member, there might be something there.
Yeah, the question is, what does Lane want to do? Because at this point in time, he's either going to get a ton of money at Ole Miss, he's going to go to Baton Rouge, get a ton of money there,
or a ton of money at Florida.
If he wanted to go to Penn State, he could certainly get a ton of money there.
Where do they hail from? The Kiffins, do we know?
Well, they moved around.
I know
Tampa.
His dad was in Tampa, right? His dad was, and I know Lane was here for a minute. I'm just curious, like, is there any tie to Louisiana?
He was born in Lincoln, Nebraska.
Stay far away from there.
But he played at Fresno State, so he's got West Coast there. And then, of course, he's coached, like you mentioned, coached the Jags, USC, real Oakland Raiders, Tennessee.
Deep roots. No deep roots.
Yeah, Alabama, FAU, now Ole Miss. If you had told me, like, 10 years ago we would be having this conversation every single day about Lane Kiffin being the next Florida coach, I would have laughed in your face.
Or that Ole Miss, I'd be like, no, you're going to Florida. Like, what are you, crazy? Why would you stay at Ole Miss?
You wouldn't even be like juggling those two things right now.
Not even close. But that's the power of what he's brought to Ole Miss. It's also the power of NIL. It's the power of the transfer portal. And of course, how much money these schools are willing to pay these college football coaches, and then the buyouts in general. All right, more football to get into. On the other side, you're listening to Helmets and Heels on a Big Chief Tire Monday. You can find them online at WeKeepJacksRollin.com. That's where I go when I need to make my appointment. You can do the same for yourself. It's 1010X on 92.5 FM.
He tackles talk radio like a middle linebacker in the gap.
I tell it like I see it, and I see it like a middle linebacker.
Tommy Mack. Fridays on Jaguars Today. Unsealed by Renewal by Anderson Custom Windows and Doors on 1010XL.
This is Helmets and Heels.
Fought for you by Green Law Group on 1010XL.
Hey guys, Taylor Doll here of Helmets and Heels. Chick-fil-A has something brand new on the menu, and it's only here for a limited time. Introducing the Pretzel Cheddar Club. This sandwich comes on a warm, buttery pretzel bun, a slice of cheddar cheese topped with 3 strips of Applewood smoked bacon, fresh lettuce, and tomato, and the kicker, a creamy Dijon mustard sauce on the side that takes this sandwich to the next level. Try it grilled, spicy, or with the original Chick-fil-A chicken. Don't wait, it's only here for a short time, so stop by Jacksonville Chick-fil-A locations and try the Pretzel Cheddar Club today.
Frank Frangie here for Stanley Pools. If you're dreaming of putting in a pool this year, choosing the right company is the most important decision you'll make. I've trusted Stanley Pools to build my pool, renovate my pool, and maintain my pool. Stanley Pools has been the best in the business since 1988, and they're still family-owned. Call them today at 904-269-7277 or find them online at StanleyPoolsFL.com. That's Stanley Pools, a family tradition of fine swimming pools.
Helmets and Heels.
It's a Big Chief Tire Monday. The local Jacksonville shop for fair prices and service you can trust.
Frank Frangie here for Coyle Fencing. Jacksonville is full of memorable sports moments. Remember Morton Anderson missing a chip shot field goal that launched the Jags into the playoffs in '96? You know who doesn't miss? Coyle Fencing. Coyle has been the fencing leader in Northeast Florida since 1927. Heck, Coyle has been installing fences since before Emery Billard installed the wishbone offense. If you need a new fence, I recommend calling Coyle Fence today at 904-356-4821 or visit CoyleJacks.com. Coyle Fencing, proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Go! The Friday night lights stay bright well after the game. Catch the winning coaches with Hacker and Dylan Denmark.
Southeast Orthopedic Specialists Friday Night Lights.
Presented by Duck Duck Rooter Plumbing, Septic and Air Conditioning.
Are you looking for a place to outfit your truck or van? It's Catlin Truck Accessories. For 105 years and 4 generations, Catlin is the name you can count on. This is Keith Catlin, and we know trucks and vans too, from Lear toppers, ladder racks, van shelving, strobe lighting, roll and lot bed covers, and everything in between. If you want quality products and great customer service, there's only one name. It's Catlin.
Who can you count on? Count on Catlin.
For 105 years, you can count on Catlin.
Lauren Brooks here for Terminex. When mice and rats show up in your home or business, they can be a real pain. You need them out fast, before they have time to multiply. Terminex knows how to shut down rodents and will keep them from coming back to wreak more havoc. When rodents show up, so does Terminex. Don't live with a rodent problem, Terminex it. Visit Terminex.com today to schedule a free inspection online just like I did. That's TERMINIX.com. TERMINIX.com.
Rick Ballou here with a congratulations for John's Auto. They've been in business in Jacksonville for 40 years. That's right, going all the way back to 1985. Right now, they'd like to thank each and every one of you who's ever gotten their vehicle serviced at John's Auto. So, car, truck, or diesel, all makes, all models, whether it's a routine maintenance or a complete engine overhaul, go to John's Auto on Arlington Road, JohnAutomotiveJacks.com.
Hi, I'm Amber Frangie. You know that other Frangie? Well, he's my dad. But I'm here to tell you about how much I appreciate the Awaken 180 weight loss program and how it's changed my life. Like a lot of folks, I let myself go a little. Not proud of that, but it happens. And I wasn't sure what to do. I've tried a lot of other weight loss programs, but they just didn't work. Not like Awaken 180. Can you believe I've lost 70 pounds in less than 4 months? With Awaken 180, there's no medication, no shots, and no side effects. And best of all, really fast results. You eat the food that's provided, and it's really good food. You work with a coach on a regular basis who guides you through the whole process. I'm never hungry. In fact, I never feel like I'm sacrificing anything. Just living a totally normal life. That's my new normal. And now, in October, they're offering free consultations. So there's no reason not to call them and learn more. Call them at 844-346-1800, or you can visit awaken180.com. It really has changed my life, and I bet it'll change yours too. That's Awaken 180.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. When it's game time, Farah doesn't flinch.
We go together. Better than birds of a feather, you and me.
Well, I always thought that Liam Cohen and the Screen Game would go together like birds of a feather, but it hasn't been as effective as of late. Here is Liam Cohen earlier today on why that is.
Yeah, hasn't been as effective. Great question. We just got done talking screens today.
I think it's a combination of when they're being called and the timing of them. Like every screen has a little bit of a different count to it. Is it a 1 count, 2 count, 3 count screen? You look at screens around the league in terms of when they're being called, you definitely, there's a trend there. And so I think it's a combination. We have athletic offensive linemen and skilled players that can do some things in space. We have got to improve there, but it's just like anything, you're trying to improve but not go reinvent the wheel with them. I think there's some fundamentals and techniques we can improve.
Listen, as a former backer, like if you can't run the ball, your screens will not be effective. And I'm talking to running back screens, not the bubble screens, because we know if you can break a tackle, that can be effective on occasion. But the running back screens, if you're not running the football, I'm not worried about
You're not going to bite on it.
I'm not going to bite on it, right? So I'm not going to bite on a play action fake if I'm stopping the run game. And if I'm in man, it's easy to sniff out a screen because I got the back and I just look at the back and I see what he does and I eventually go to him and kind of screw up the play. But if it's zone, now if you're running the ball and you got me on my toes and I don't know if it's run or pass, and then I think, oh, it's pass, and then you throw a screen and I'm in zone, I got to drop back to my zone and then come up. That's a different story. You know what I mean? But you can't do that just by throwing the football. You have to run the football in order for those backers and safeties to even take one step for a play action, any type of pass, really.
We read the stat last week, Tommy, because Daniel Griffiths posted it. So they have the Jags right now, they have 42 screen attempts, which is second most in the NFL, but they're only completing 73.8% of their screen passes, which is 31st at the NFL. So it's just
73% of the screen pad they're actually connecting, or
it's 73.8 completing.
Wow.
Completing 73.8.
It should be
of their
over
screen
90%.
passes. Yeah, every other team pretty much is over 90.
Interesting. I'm thinking, like, does he like throwing it away? Like, because that would factor in.
Yeah.
You know, where the screen doesn't work and try to throw it into the dirt, like a lot of quarterbacks
Which we've seen.
do.
Yeah.
You know?
And obviously drops are always going to factor into every single stat
Yeah.
that we talk about. But yeah, Travis Etienne the last 2 games against those NFC West opponents, 12 carries for 27 yards against the Seahawks, 8 carries for 44 yards against the Rams.
Which was
so
better.
That is better, but obviously he's not getting the football enough.
Yeah.
And the Rams game, I feel like in isolation, we can talk about how everything broke down before they really even got going. But in the loss to the Bengals, he had 14 carries for 71 yards. In the loss, like I said, to the Seahawks, 12 carries for 27 yards. That's not enough productivity to then, threaten with that screen game.
No, for sure. I mean, you're not even worried about it at all. I think we should see a little more Tootin, but more in a thumping type role. Like, get him between the tackles and get Etienne off tackle.
Yeah, let's not mention how
I mean?
well Tank Bigsby played yesterday for the Eagles.
Yeah, did he play well? I didn't notice.
He did, yeah.
Did
he had over 100 yards.
Did he really? Oh, my gosh. Isn't that too funny? Well, good for him. Good for him. But, yeah, you got to be able to be effective running the football if you're going to work on that screen game. Interesting they missed that many. That's interesting because I know he throws it in the dirt when it doesn't work out, but you think back, there have been misses too. Yeah, man, that's not good. You got to be up in the, like you said, the 90 percentile. But that's your offense. You got to keep running it, but just get that running game going. And again, and teams do it across the league. I swear it's almost like, the run up the center's butt, what I call it, right?
Push.
It's like, no, not even the tush push. Just you hand off the ball and the back goes in between the guards somewhere, and it usually goes nowhere. I feel like teams, are they just buying a play? Let's just, do this play and then, you know what I mean? Like, it doesn't seem to ever work, but they all do it. They go right up in between the guard and the center. They get stuffed every single time.
I feel like the only back who is successful at that is like a Derrick Henry.
Yeah.
He's the only one for the most part. Yeah. But yeah, when you're talking about the Eagles' run game yesterday, Saquon Barkley, 14 carries, 150 yards, and a touchdown. Tank Bigsby, 9 carries, 104 yards.
Way to go, Tank. Good for you, man.
Good for him. But obviously, what the Eagles were doing was establishing the run and then being dominant through that. And I don't know if this team's offensive line is anywhere near as good as the Eagles, obviously. But early on in the season, they showed promises that they could be. So maybe a healthier Robert Hainsey, maybe a healthier Patrick McCary, and this team can get back to doing that.
With athletic linemen, right? Like he said, that aren't
Ezra's Cleveland,
bulldozer, road graders, right? They're more athletic. You got to get that D-line moving east and west, so you can make those cutbacks. You're not going to be able to go north and south on them if your guys aren't bullish enough. Like you think of Philly, they're bullish. Like they'll take you. You know, they'll push you back. If we're not that type of guy, then you got to get them moving so you can get that back cutting against the grain and find some space there. But I do think that trap game's got to come back. I mean, we don't have Brenton for a little bit, so these other tight ends, man, they got to step up.
Yeah.
Get that. Look, a lot of the run game, it's not all of it, but a lot of it is just your attitude. Like, let's go back to the nasty type. You guys weren't. The O-line was not nasty against Seattle. They were not nasty against the Rams.
We need to piss them off before the game.
We got to get a little nasty out there, like they were doing, because you see when they are like that.
Yeah.
They're very effective. You can run the ball, and if you can run the ball, play action pass. You know these teams that do the play action misdirection. I'm telling you, as a linebacker, it drives you insane. Because you'll never catch the tight end if he gets behind you, and because you bit up on the fake. You know, and that was one thing the Rams did. Like, they'd run the ball, then it'd be drop back, then it'd be a misdirection, then it'd be a run the ball, then it'd be a misdirection, and we're sitting there like, you can see our defense is like head spinning, we can't stop them. That's when you know you got something good going on. So hopefully we can get to that kind of rhythm as an offense. I feel like we have the talent to do it. Maybe not the upper all across the board, but enough to really get that kind of rhythm going.
Yeah, watch the tape of what the Rams did to the Jags defense and then deploy that against the Raiders.
Balance,
I don't know if Liam Cohen wants to watch that one.
But watch it from the Rams' perspective where you came from.
Yes.
And look, when you look around the league, you see quarterbacks take a step back at times, right? And that is just the overall development. And so hopefully what we've seen is, Trevor Lawrence is still getting used to this offense, and it is a complicated offense, like we've said. And so now, however they want to tweak it, but get it to where they are much more successful in as far as the lack of penalties, but also just have a confidence about them when it comes to the offense. When this offense takes the field, or the last 2 weeks when they've taken the field, I haven't gotten the sense that they feel like they're going to drive down and score points.
Yeah, and you want them to be able to do some of the easy things too, and that's what we were seeing work. That was like some of the things that were working early on in the season, and then now you've seen those things, the easy things, not really work, and that's a problem when you also haven't been able to figure out the deep passes and getting downfield pretty much at all season.
Right,
but
right.
what was saving you was running the ball and those easy button things. So it's like if you can't do either of those, then you have some massive problems.
Yeah, they're going to have to go back to it. I'm sure they did this week, sitting down with Trevor, sitting down with the receivers. Hey, what plays do you like? Like what ones are you the most confident in? Every team does it. It's not like anything rocket science here, but you do that during your bye week. And I know the throws he makes great, and I would like to see more of them. We've talked about those. What do you say? Easy button throws. Yeah, he's got it in him. Get a rhythm going with that, and if you can get the running game going, you got something there. And that's not just with any one particular receiver. Like, all of them have done it. Diami's done it. Travis has done it. Brian Thomas has done it. Parker's done it. Maybe over the middle in zone, you don't throw.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe
Sure.
they're not going to catch it, and you're not going to complete it. Maybe that's not one of those things you put out there. You put out the ones that you're going to complete, that you feel really good about, and get them in. Look, again, human nature is like, we need confidence. We all do. Fighters need it. Anybody in sports, you need that confidence, that rhythm, that flow.
Sure.
So
Cam Little has to make a field goal.
Oh, don't get me started on the damn kicker.
but
no,
he's
he
got to
does.
make a field goal so that he gets
does.
out of his head and gets back into rhythm.
I'm not a kicker. Obviously never been. But I know from talking with Mike Hollis, it's just like a golfer's swing. You got to go back to just where you're swinging that leg the same way every single time.
Were y'all watching Game Day on Saturday?
I was not.
Okay, so they always
have...
Oh,
yeah, I saw that.
They
that
always
was
have
incredible.
a student come up.
McAfee's thing.
Yeah, Pat McAfee, Kirk Herbstreit will donate money.
Yeah.
And this kick was $500,000 for the student athlete, the Vanderbilt student athlete, and then a $250,000 donation to a charity.
Yeah.
He lined up. He was a soccer player his whole life.
Yeah.
He lined up, went directly back, then went a couple steps to the left, and drilled it.
Yeah.
And it looked like it would have been good from probably 50.
Yeah.
Can we sign that guy?
Well, it was fun.
Bring a little competition?
What was great about that, too, is like, so the kid, they're interviewing him. He's like, yeah, I kicked a little bit in high school, a couple of games, football games and whatnot. And so Pat's sitting there going, okay, forget 100,000. We're
Right.
going 500,000, and you get one shot. That's it. You don't get another shot. He's like, okay,
All right.
no problem.
Yeah,
and then he added a 250.
Every
And
time
he
they
drilled it.
miss, then the whole crowd goes, one more kick,
Yeah.
one more kick.
Yeah.
And so, yeah.
So
that
awesome.
setup also was intimidating because there's just fans right
Everywhere.
on you,
Yeah.
right there. Like,
Everywhere,
I
yeah.
would be intimidated.
And Kirk's the holder.
Yes, yeah. Kirk's always like, okay, here we go. But we went to this place over the weekend, which they've advertised us, and I think we've done a couple of our parties there, the Four Score place, and you could do
yeah,
field goal
yeah.
kicking there. I crushed it, just to let everybody know.
Did
I
you?
was very shocked. I
Great
made all of my
job.
field goals. I set one of the high scores on that thing, and I was like, all right, I need to go try out.
That's right. Come on down.
Cool. I wanna try
Absolutely.
that.
It's pretty fun, actually.
That
I
sounds
have
fun.
2 NFL stats for y'all before
Okay.
we talk about the World Series on the other side. Christian McCaffrey became the 5th player ever with 5,000 rushing yards and 5,000 receiving yards in his career. 3 of the other 4 are in the Pro Football Hall of Fame. Marshall Faulk, Lenny Moore, and Marcus Allen. The other is Tiki Barber.
Oh.
Really?
So good company certainly for Christian McCaffrey.
I saw that, by the way. He's like 8th in the league for receiving yards right now. A running back. He's insane.
He is insane. And he doesn't get the football nearly enough.
Not
now
enough,
that Mac
no.
Jones is the quarterback. And then Josh Allen, the Bills quarterback, now has more games. That would be 46 games with at least 1 passing touchdown and 1 running touchdown than any other player in NFL history. I would have lost and just assumed that Lamar Jackson was that.
Yeah.
Because it's not consecutive games. But yeah, another good win for the Bills. Although
Massive, finally.
that I feel like the Panthers fans were like, all right, we're not that bad. Here we go.
Yeah, never mind.
And then they played the Bills yesterday.
Back
They're
to
like,
reality
"Oh,
a little bit.
Yeah, no doubt.
Yeah, maybe we should stick to playing teams.
Did
that
you
aren't
see the
really good.
altercation after the game with the 2 big linemen?
Yes, I
Deion
did.
Dawkins and Ashawn Robinson.
Yeah.
They
Oh, I
were-
did not see that,
oh,
but I
yeah.
would not want to mess with Deion
No, I
Dawkins.
didn't. I was like, who's going to break that up? You better get some beef out here quick.
Yeah.
But yeah, no punches were thrown, so that was a good thing. But they were getting after it.
You lose 40-9 or you win 49. There's
Yeah.
often bad blood. All
No
right,
doubt.
World Series chatter on the other side. It's Helmets and Heels on a Big Chief Tire Monday on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
Helmets and Heels.
From the Queen Law Group Studios. In your car or out of your car.
Get me out of this car.
Take 1010XL with you wherever you go.
We're online and ready.
By downloading our free 1010XL app. Available for all smartphones and tablets.
How do you know that your roof is ready for the next big storm? You don't. That's why you need to call me. I'm Ronnie, the owner of Brandon Roofing. We'll assess your roof and fix those issues before they become storm disasters. Visit BrandonRoofing.com today to schedule your free roofing quote.
License number CCC 1328006.
It's a Big Chief Tire Monday on Helmets and Heels.
You don't need to bet everything on a Hail Mary. Just find a ride in your budget. Because Southside Kia is now Kia on Atlantic. New name, new location, same great deals. And we have the perfect place during the Kia Fall Savings event, like a new Kia payment free for a full 90 days. Or take advantage of financing rates as low as 0%. It's always a touchdown when you shop the best deals in town. Kia on Atlantic, your coastal Kia connection.
For complete details, call 904-250-0587.
This is Josh Woolsey with Woolsey Morecambe. When deciding what lawyer to trust with your car accident or injury case, the most reliable way is reviews and results. You want to be treated well, and you want a great result. Woolsey Morecambe's reviews speak for themselves, and I challenge any firm to compare results. We offer the resources of a large law firm and the customer service of a boutique practice. If you want to be treated right and want great results, call Woolsey Morecambe at 1-800-WOOLSEY and take the fear out of the fight. Offices, Jacksonville.
Tired of plumbers trying to sell you instead of help you? At Superior Plumbing and Pipeline, we do things differently. We hire real plumbers, not salesmen, and we never pay commission. That means no upselling, no pressure, and no unnecessary repairs. Just honest, expert work at a fair price. So the next time you need a plumber you can trust, make the superior choice and call Superior Plumbing and Pipelining, where quality comes first and honesty is standard. Superior Plumbing and Pipelining. No commissions, just solutions. Learn more at SuperiorPlumbingJacks.com.
Jeff Lagerman for Napa Auto Care Centers. This football season, make sure your ride can get to that tailgate or travel to the away game safely and dependably. You can trust the ASE certified professionals at any one of the 29 independently owned Napa Auto Care Centers and the quality Napa parts they use. Napa Auto Care Centers can handle everything: oil changes, air conditioning, brakes, engines, transmissions. Napa Auto Care Centers offers a nationwide 24-month, 24,000-mile peace of mind warranty on most repairs. Find one near you at jacksnapaautocare.com. PalmBeachAutoCare.com.
Jaguar fans, Palm Beach Autographs is putting together a Fanatics exclusive with a chance for you to meet and get an autograph from Trevor Lawrence and Ryan Thomas Jr. All the details are at PalmBeachAutographs.com. It's happening October 28th at Palm Beach Autographs in the Avenues Mall.
Attention skilled electricians. Are you undervalued at your current company? Time to step up to the bigger projects and better opportunities. Join the team at Miller Electric Company, a trusted name in the industry for over 96 years. At Miller, we tackle the biggest projects in the city, offering not just a job, but an experience, top-notch pay, unbeatable benefits, and the best working environments in the business. Please join the team that values your skills and rewards your hard work. Elevate your career to new heights. Apply today at millercareers.com, an equal opportunity employer.
This is Jeff Middlecoff with Cogent Bank. My associate Ryan Salem and I joined Cogent Bank because we wanted to revolutionize the mortgage business, just like Cogent Bank has revolutionized the banking business. So Ryan Salem and I are able to leverage the power and stability of Cogent Bank to go out and find our clients the best investors, the best products, and the best rates in the entire country for your particular mortgage loan. Of course, you don't have to be a customer at Cogent Bank to take advantage of our mortgage services to buy or refinance your home. We offer jumbo loans, VA, FHA, conventional, and investment loans. At Cogent Bank, we offer mortgages nationwide, so we can help you with a second home or help a family member who lives or is moving to another state. Call Ryan Salem or myself, Jeff Middlecoff, at Cogent Bank today, 904-442-9191, to see how we can help you with any of your mortgage loan needs, whatever or wherever they may be.
Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender, Cogent Bank, NMLS ID 402296. Ryan Salem, NMLS ID 1182429. Jeff Middlecoff, NMLS ID 249086.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Focused, fueled, fearless, Farah.
Now the cool down with Donovan Air, Electric and Plumbing, keeping Jack's cool since '87.
I did want to make a comment about how bad officiating has been this year, like league-wide. Every single game I turned on yesterday, at some point in time, there are crucial calls, whether it's being called wrong or just being missed. And it honestly gets frustrating because you're like, and some of them are very blatantly obvious. We have the tic-tac-y calls where it's always going to be kind of, you know, it's what they see or what they don't see. And we've had the conversations about the PI that Travis Hunter had earlier in the season. And maybe you just can't see some of those things, or you're seeing from a different angle and whatever. But some of them are so bad. And I think that some of them frustrate me when it comes to, with the Eagles game, for example, with the forward progress. Sometimes they'll wait like 12 seconds before they blow the whistle, and then sometimes it's like 1 second in and they'll blow it on for other teams, to where you're like, okay, you've got to be even in this. How long? Why do the Eagles get 7 seconds to push their guy forward, but other teams immediately you're blowing it dead? And so I do think that there's some of those things they really need to start shaking out, because it's just not even from team to team, and it's not one team getting everything. It's I mean, we're seeing different teams get different calls each day, but you do see the certain ones where you feel like they want them to win the games, and we've seen it obviously with the Chiefs quite a bit. The Eagles have been getting a lot of those calls too, but it's just frustrating because you're watching it and I'm like, also, if the offensive linemen can shove their guys forward for that amount of time, then let the defense start shoving people backwards, and they don't. They call it dead right away. You're not helping the defense at all.
Right. No, I've had a problem with forward motion for a long time, even before the tush push. I don't really. I mean, I understand it. I mean, look, they want the offense to get those yards. Yeah. But I mean, you think about it. A receiver catches a ball and gets hit right away, and you tackle him 2 yards backwards, but he gets the 2 yards. Why?
Yeah.
Why is that, you know, all that's where that goes? Why doesn't it go to where he ends up?
Yeah.
You know, like the tush
backwards
push. Like
forward progress.
If I stuff the tush push initially, you shouldn't be able to push behind.
Yeah.
It should be done. Blow it dead and have another shot at it. I don't care how many times you run the tush push, but you're right. Once you stuff the quarterback initially, they should blow it dead. They shouldn't allow them to anybody to do that. But it happens across the field. It happens across the league. But you know, again, it's the league wanting the offense to have those yards.
Yeah.
That's
what it is. Yeah.
They want them to score. They want them to continue to get the first down and that type of thing. But forward motion to me has always been a problem. I just don't really.
They
totally
certainly
get it.
talked a lot at the NFL owners' meetings about changing the rules for the tush push and outlawing it.
Yeah.
So it'll be interesting after one more season with it approved what happens this offseason.
I don't want it outlawed. I don't care if they do it, but you can't just allow a scrum because then it turns into a rugby scrum. We're not playing rugby.
Yeah.
We're playing football.
And that's when ankles
That's a
get
different.
messed up.
Oh, yeah.
That's a different sport altogether. So you want to do the tush push initiative, that's fine. But if you get stuffed, blow the whistle and play another down. In my opinion, anyway.
I hear you. All right, we've had Game 1 go the way of the Blue Jays in the World Series. Game 2 go the way of the Dodgers, and it sounded like this.
And here struggles. Archer sends a towering drive. Right center field. Kiss it goodbye. Popped up. Left side. Yamamoto goes the distance again. World Series mastery.
He retired the final 20 batters.
Wow.
Yeah, he
That's
crushed
impressive.
And we haven't seen a back-to-back complete game by a pitcher in 24 years.
That's
in the
wild.
postseason.
Wow. Yeah, he's one of the better pitchers we've talked about. Probably not enough, honestly, throughout the regular season. But yeah,
'Cause
you
there's
go
that
9
guy
innings,
called
you only only 4 hits in that. He strikes out 8. He's so fun, and it's just what a tale of like just 2 different games of how these went. Obviously, when it comes to the Blue Jays scoring 11 runs, and then the next game they score 1 run. There are times where watching baseball, if it's my team, I'll be like, don't score all the runs today. Like, let's save some for another day. And it kind of feels like it happens sometimes, but definitely more of a pitcher's duel that next night compared to, I feel like that first night it was like the Blue Jays grand slam that obviously helps you out a little bit, but it did feel like more hits and they were getting on base a little bit more in that game than they did in game 2.
That guy's calling the home run, man, and then hearing the crowd. That's such a glorious thing, you know. It's got to be just unbelievable.
Well, I mean, especially
to be in that moment.
Your team's already up 5-2, but then to hit the grand slam and to pretty much know, like,
I've locked this in,
Like,
unless something really crazy happens.
Right. But yeah, I feel like the fact that we have such incredible pitchers coming up is also exciting.
Yeah. Glasnow and Scherzer tonight, and then obviously the big one everyone's gonna be wanting to watch is Shohei
versus Shane Bieber.
Yeah.
Which I always want to say Justin Bieber, but
Yeah, he's good. I remember watching him in what game was it? 7, I think. Did he pitch 7 against the Mariners? I thought he did.
Maybe.
Mustache. He had a mustache. Looked like Tom Selleck. You know what I'm talking about?
Selleck stash.
Yeah, he had the Selleck stash. Yeah, I know who you're talking about.
It's wild how many names you're constantly naming. Like every name we're talking about are names we've been talking about for years, for the most part, when it comes to like the rosters in general, especially the Dodgers. But even on the Blue Jay side, I don't know if people realize how many star guys they have when it comes to like the pitching side of things.
Yeah, for real.
They paid for it.
That they did. Both teams though did.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, if you don't watch a ton of baseball and you don't know Tyler Glasnow, he's a guy that he started his career with the Pirates, and then the Rays acquired him, and then he ended up with the Tommy John surgery, and then he was signed by the Dodgers, and so that's where he's been the last few years. And I mean, kind of like certain pitchers where like certain nights they're on and other nights like if you feel like they're not as much. That's Blake Snell was always like that to me, and now Tyler Glasnow, I don't know if it's like a former Rays pitcher thing, but I feel like
when he's on, but then you can kind of tell early on if it's not his night.
That's what I think.
Yeah.
And so the first night we had Blake Snell game 1, and while yes he pitched well, the Dodgers. Or he had to pitch 29 pitches for the Dodgers to get out of that first inning.
Yeah.
So that's, obviously a lot of wear and tear on him. And Glasnow, to me, we're going to be able to tell really early on tonight. And I understand it's a Monday Night Football, so you'll probably also be watching Commanders-Chiefs.
Yeah, right.
But I would sneak a look to see what Scherzer even looks like at this point in time. 3-time Cy Young winner.
Yeah, when it comes to Snell, because he only got 5 innings pitched in that game, which is something I had just been talking about, how well he's done when it comes to getting to 7-8 innings has been kind of his season for the most part. So you definitely, in that game, wanted to get more out of Blake Snell. Not saying Blake Snell's the reason that they lost, but he did. Obviously, he had 8 hits, and he only struck out 4, walked 3. That's not the type of performance you wanted out of Snell in game 1.
No, and as soon as the Blue Jays chased him, that's when they started to pile up those runs. All right, we've got one segment to go here on Helmets and Heels on a Big Chief Tower Monday. I'll bring you today's Terminix Pest of the Day. On the other side, it's 10 to next on 92.5 FM.
From the Queen Law Group Studios.
Helmets and Heels.
When you're a little kid on the playground, they tell you don't hit back.
Well, the courtroom isn't a playground, and if you've suffered an injury or death in your family, I'm here to tell you it's okay to hit back and fight to make them pay. I'm attorney Brett Hastings, and at Hastings Injury Law, we understand all the pain and emotion that comes with being wrong, and we've dedicated our lives to making things right for people like you. So if you get hit back with Hastings Injury Law. Offices, Jacksonville.
It's a Big Chief Tire Monday. The local Jacksonville shop for fair prices and service you can trust.
Lauren Brooks here for Terminix. When pests invade your home or business, you don't just need them out. You need them out fast, and you need to keep them out. At Terminix, they will show up for you and eliminate pests quicker, just like they did at my house, because they care about what matters most to you. When pests show up, so does Terminix. Don't live with a pest problem. I certainly didn't want to. Terminix it. Visit Terminix.com today to schedule your free inspection online. That's TerMinix.com.
Instant Keys. You don't have to go to the dealer. Instant Keys comes to you. For lost or broken keys or nearly any make and model of vehicle, call 722-1111 for Instant Keys locksmith service.
Baloo here for Smunez Vision. Why Smunez Vision? Well, I've been with Dr. Neil Smunez now since I got back to Jacksonville in 2006. 37 years of experience he has. Smunez Vision is a family organization that focuses on personal high-quality medical and surgical eye care. Dr. Catherine Smunez is fellowship trained in cornea and cataract surgery and all refractive surgery. Combined, that's 30 years plus in laser eye surgery. Visit SmunezVision.com today. Care you can see.
Pickett here for Zero Res. Are you scared of ghosts? Of course you're not. They aren't nearly as scary as some of the things that Zero Res sees in those air ducts straight out of a horror film filled with spooky dust. Gross dander, creepy cobwebs, which is why Zero Res is here to banish monsters hiding in your vents. Don't be afraid of ghosts. Be afraid of what's in your air ducts. Call Zero Res today and take advantage of our October special. Mention 1010XL. They're offering 15% off duct and dryer vent cleaning. Zero Res. Spell it forwards or backwards. It's the right way to clean. Zero Res.
When you need plumbing, septic, or air conditioning service, trust matters. That's why more homeowners in Jacksonville choose DuckDuckRooter. From small plumbing repairs to major renovations, we do it all. Visit DuckDuckRooter.com. DuckDuckRooter. When you're stuck, call the Duck.
I'm here with Clayton Bromberg of Underwood Jewelers. Clayton, why is it that when you look at how long a store has been in business, that it always seems to be the stores like Underwood's that sell fine quality that have been around the longest?
Frank, that's a question that really doesn't get asked a lot, but it should be. There are a number of reasons, but probably the biggest is because of the endorsements our longtime customers and their pieces of jewelry have given us through the years. You see, when you sell really fine quality jewelry, that piece will last longer and always stay beautiful. It might stay in the same family for generations, and through those years of wear, a lot of compliments will be made and a lot of people will be told where the piece of jewelry came from. You see, at a store like Underwood's, it's our stated goal to be the best jeweler in the South, not the biggest, so everything we do and carry has to help move us toward that goal. And ultimately, it's the satisfied customers wearing fine quality jewelry that have kept Underwood's in Jacksonville since 1928.
Underwood's in San Marco, Avondale, and the shops of Ponte Vedra.
Hey, Dan, that spaceship-wide lunch meeting at noon, please say it's not more astronaut ice cream and powdered orange drink.
Negatory. Ground control hooked us up with EasyCater, so now we can order from a galaxy of restaurants with tools to stay on budget and meet our dietary needs.
Thank heavens. My dairy tolerance and anti-gravity is not great.
And with EasyCater, it's all on one simple platform, so we can focus on space stuff, like that asteroid. So how about tacos? Hold the cheese.
EasyCater, a stellar way to order food for work. Order now at EasyCater.com.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Still, present, ready. Farah doesn't flinch.
Taylor Dahl, Tom McManus, RJ Saunders. I'm Lauren Brooks with you on this Big Chief Tire Monday. Today's Pest of the Day is always brought to you by our friends at Terminix. You can find them online at Terminix.com. That's TerMinix.com. They take care of Everbank Stadium, ViStar Ballpark, ViStar Veterans Memorial Arena, and all of your favorite event venues around town, just like they do at our house. If you have any issues, you reach out to them. They will come take care of those issues, and you will be a happy customer like we are. So kidney disease is today's pest of the day.
Yeah.
As we found out yesterday that 41-year-old Nick Mangold passed away. He was diagnosed in 2006 with a disease, and we knew that he needed a kidney. He announced that less than 2 weeks ago, that for his blood type, no one in his family matched. So he was trying to let all the Ohio State fan base know where he went to college, and then the Jets fan base certainly as well. Terrific offensive lineman. And watching ESPN's NFL Countdown yesterday, Rex Ryan, who coached him, just got so emotional that it made me emotional.
Yeah.
But also just I hate the fact that his family now is without him, and such a fantastic person from everything that I read. And it just sucks because it feels like in 2025 we should be able to figure out ways to fix kidneys without needing a kidney from someone else.
It has to be one of the most devastating things to know exactly what you need to get better and just not be able to get it.
Right.
Like that has to be devastating. You just day to day, and the weight of, am I going to get a kidney? Am I going to get a kidney? That has to be one of the most devastating things to have to watch a family member go through, but for yourself, stressful in general of just playing that waiting game every single day.
Yeah, it's so sad. It just shows you, the love, the real love between a coach and a player, and just in general. And Nick was a guy that I didn't know him personally, but heard great things about him off the field. Like a really great guy, like real nice guy, approachable, but mean on the field. He was unbelievable. One of the top linemen at one time at his position. But it's sad, man. It's too young. It's too young. That's why, you just never know in this on Earth. You just never know when your time's up. You never know when things are going to go south, and you got to try to live it to your best. And he's in a good spot. He's up in heaven. He don't need no kiddies. But it's his family that you think about. His wife, his kids that are going to miss him so much. So, Godspeed, Nick Mangold, man. Just such a tough story, man. It's tough. And we bring it to light because it's, sports, and we're a sports show, but we know everybody out there. You're all dealing with something. So God bless you all. And hopefully it, can get better.
Yeah, I think that's
Whatever
well
it is.
said. I'll switch it over now to Florida, Georgia, because yes, the Jags play in Vegas on Sunday, but of course the Florida Gators and the Georgia Bulldogs play in Jacksonville on Saturday, and the festivities will get underway with RV City opening up on Wednesday, and everybody, I know, going to have a great time, whether your team wins or loses, which obviously the Vegas odds makers believe that Georgia will win, opened up as a 7.5 or an 8-point favorite, but Georgia has won the last 7 out of 8, so no surprise the reason that they're going to pick that.
Is that line does that feel right to you?
I would have expected it to be larger, but
Me
I
too.
think people just aren't sure what the Gators offense is going to look like now that Billy Napier has been let go. Billy Gonzalez is the interim head coach, and then of course Ryan O'Hara, the quarterback's coach, is going to call the plays. So if you actually get the ball to your playmakers,
maybe some good
Jaden
things
Baugh,
can
i.e.
happen.
Dallas Wilson, then you actually, I feel like, could have a chance as far as moving the ball on Georgia. But I think people underestimated what Gunnar Stockton was going to be for this Bulldogs
I know
team.
I did.
Yeah, and
for sure.
Maybe they don't have the sexiest of names on their roster in comparison to years prior. I mean, you see some of those guys like Brock Bowers and Darnell Washington, the excellent tight ends in the NFL, and some of the running backs, receivers too. So and obviously the defensive playmakers. So you just assume that they're not as good. But Georgia still is a really good football team. And look, Kirby Smart's not going to let his team be asleep at the wheel.
Oh, definitely not. That's one of the things. I mean, Kirby is Kirby. You're talking about one of the best college football coaches, if not the best college football coach right now in this point in time. And so that is a major factor. And then you have a guy coming in where we're talking about new play caller. We chatted a little bit last week with Zach Alberverdi, and I asked him that, what are you expecting offensively? Because you don't really have anything to lose if you're like, you can do whatever you want. Like, you're just here for, you're just calling plays right now because Billy's not here.
I ain't here for a long time. I'm here for a good time.
I mean, maybe it gets you another job if you do an impressive job and you use these weapons.
I mean, if Florida wins out the rest of the season, then Billy Gonzalez might be the head coach at Florida. None of us actually expect that to happen.
Can their defense keep them in it?
And that's the hard part. Florida's defense was so good to start this season, but obviously the problem is now many injuries, and that's taken its toll for sure.
Without a doubt. And
you see lots of guys needing surgery at this point in time defensively.
Yeah. I mean, the rivalry game, you never know with rivalry games, but at the same time, Georgia should take care of them, I would think, overall. But again, if Florida's defense can somehow get some stops, maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Because we talked last year about, if Lagway had played the whole thing, a lot of people say they should have won the game last year if Lagway didn't get injured. So you never know with that game. It's one of the ones because it has that rivalry, and you're talking about some unpredictableness. Georgia doesn't know what they're game planning against, honestly, at this point in time, because you know the people and the personnel, but you don't know what Ryan O'Hara is going to do. So they could throw some fun things and let Dallas Wilson do what he does best, catch the ball and go.
Absolutely. All right, let's say hello to the Frangie Show.
Now, the 2-minute drill is driven by nobody but Nimnicht. Nimnicht Chevrolet on Cassett Avenue and Nimnicht Buick GMC on Phillips Highway.
Hayes, did you watch a pitch in the World Series?
I have not yet.
All right.
Yeah, have not yet.
Something tells me you'll also watch Monday Night Football tonight.
I will definitely be watching Monday Night Football tonight. Big game tonight. You need need Washington to take them down. I don't think it's going to happen, but if Washington can upset Kansas City, that'd be big for the Jaguars.
Nice,
the Jaguars are the 7 seed right now. If the Chiefs win tonight, they become the 7 seed just because they get a half game up. But Jags obviously still have the tiebreaker. But yeah, go Commanders, I guess.
Florida Georgia week, does it feel a little different with the circumstances surrounding
It
Florida
does.
football
Poor
team?
Billy Gonzalez. I mean, he's in such a tough spot, and he's handling things as good as he can handle them. But I mean, what a buzzsaw that he's getting ready to encounter at 3:30 on Saturday.
Yeah.
So I
This is
mean,
a Saw movie coming up.
I mean, it's
Plus
it's,
Tennessee and Ole Miss.
Yeah,
And then Florida State.
it's rough. So I mean, I'm surprised the line is as low as it is.
That's
I
what we were
saw
just
it. Yeah,
discussing.
single digits.
Mhm.
Like that seems surprising to me.
You put your money on Georgia.
I would put my money on Georgia and feel really good about it. I mean, for me to take Florida, you'd probably have to give me like 14.5.
Okay.
And obviously the line's not going to jump that far,
No,
barring 15 Gators, not playing, beyond what we already know isn't playing. So, but we'll talk about that coming up on the Frangie Show. It'll be a lot of fun. Frank's been out last week, so I'm sure he's got tons of thoughts on the Florida surge, what's going on with LSU, and certainly the Jaguars. Big game coming up Sunday in Las Vegas. So, go get a win, because if you don't, the season is starting to slip away.
Yeah, it is.
So all that coming up on the Frangie Show.
All right, sounds good. Thanks,
Thank you.
Hayes. Yeah, Frank was on Duval Rundown with Hayes this morning, and he asked him about Brian Thomas Jr. and those rumors, and Frank was like, they're not trading Brian Thomas Jr. So, and you heard it there first before Liam Cohen come out and said the exact same
That's
thing.
the right move to make. It reminds me of when Maverick lost Goose, in the first Top Gun, and what did Tom Skerritt keep saying? Keep sending him up. Keep sending him up. Keep giving Brian Thomas a chance to run or get that ball and do something with it. So, no, it's too early to give up on anybody on this team, especially a guy like Brian Thomas, who we're just expecting it for the turn. I mean, he's got to turn eventually.
Yeah.
I mean, we can't be saying
You
this
wanna
in week
see it,
13.
yeah.
Like, come on, Brian.
Certain
We
movies.
It's
can't
time,
be
buddy.
at
It's
camp
time.
next year being like, are BTJ and Trevor ever going to figure it out? You
No,
want to
right.
be
That's
having
right.
that start to be resolved.
Certain movies I just wouldn't watch the end. Lion King and Top Gun.
Aw.
Get to a certain point, I don't want that sad stuff.
I've never watched Top Gun.
Lion
Oh,
King, he
I've
wins
never
in
seen
the
Top
end.
Gun?
He wins in the end.
I
It's
know,
okay.
but that's still sadness. All right, that'll do it for us today before we go down a movie rabbit hole. For Taylor Dahl, for Tom McManus, for RJ Saunders, I'm Lauren Brooks. These heels are made for talking. We will talk to you tomorrow, but don't go anywhere. The Frangie Show is next on 1010XL 92.5 FM.